eventually people are going to say, what the hell is going on?
No matter how far you go into the dark, when you flip, you go exactly the same place to the light in our galaxy. Everything. Because everything is in balance. Everything is a polarity.
I think it's just going to get weirder and weirder and weirder, and finally it's going to be so weird that people are going to have to talk about how weird it is.
What the hell is going on? Let us begin the countdown timer that you can see at the top left-hand side of the screen, which is counting us down until the press conference begins, taking place in Washington, D.C., put together by James Fox with the whistleblowers firsthand from the famous Varginha, Brazil case. Now, a few things that we need to preface this with. First of all, if you've been following this announcement and this case, since day dot that James Fox has announced this, he has said that he wanted as many eyes on this as possible. This is free. There's no paywalls. He's not charging. He's specifically said green light to stream it and all of this kind of stuff, right? So ever since he's been saying that, I've thought, right, we'll cover it. Okay, I like to cover these kind of things. We covered the last UAP hearing. We covered the UAP hearing before that. So I like to make a document of these things on the channel. And that was always going to be my intention, right? Now, not long before I went live, a few people were saying that apparently News Nation are the only ones that are allowed to stream this. Now, I don't know if that is the case. I honestly don't know. I've obviously had issues with copyright and stuff in the past. But like I said, I've been following James Fox. He's been on a lot of podcasts. And the one thing he's continued to say is that he wants this to get out to as many people as possible. And it's free to stream. He wants people to stream it, green light, etc. In fact, I've even got a clip of him saying it, which I'll play a little bit later. But I just wanted to make that clear. If something happens and we get removed from the air, I guess that wasn't the case. But we'll do our best. And because of that, if the News Nation coverage is like just Ross speaking, probably not going to play it. But what I want to actually cover and react to is the hearing and the testimony itself, because at the end of the day, that's what we're all here for. So also, it's quite late. It's almost midnight where I am. And shout out to you if you're in Australia back home doing the late night shift. Big respect to you guys. And also a special hello and thank you to all the people in the UK and Europe who are checking in. If that is you, let me know, because I want to apologize. You guys haven't had a live stream in your time zone for quite a while now. I know, don't worry. I haven't forgot about you guys. I think about it every day. And I got to start changing that up a little bit. Okay, we've got to start doing some more nighttime streams around this time. So that will be happening. My apologies. We got to share the love around. I haven't forgotten about you guys. But we've got some time to kill, as you can see in the top left-hand side corner. So, you know, I thought we'll kind of treat this just like a little bit of a warm-up, a little bit of a pre-game, and kind of just like what we do in the members section. So if you are a member, we do members-only live streams quite often. I'm just trying to get the focus right here. Where we just kind of hang out and talk about whatever's going on and a little bit of a Q&A and chat shit. So I think we've got plenty of time to do that until the actual business begins. Katie's gifted a membership while we were waiting to get started. Thank you very much, sir. Taris came in and dropped 20 gifted memberships twice. He's gifted 40 memberships. Taris, you continue to be the GOAT, sir. Let's get some love in the chat for Taris and the 40 new weirdos that have just joined the tribe. Welcome, guys. Members-only content to check out, streams, and the member section of our Discord. Corrupt NPC gifted a membership. Legend, sir. Thank you very much. So did Zeitgeist82. Thank you very much. And 420 Breezy says, good morning, y'all. Good morning to you, bro. And P. Shaw. Hope you're doing well. So, who was here this morning? We finished up the Alex Collier stream. That was a lot of fun. I'm glad that resonated with a lot of people because he is in the intro, okay? He's the guy that says everything is a polarity. That's him. So I'm really glad when we watched that it actually hit home because, you know, sometimes we will watch things together that before I play it, I'm like, oh, I don't know if they're going to like this one. You know, like I'm interested in it and I want to watch it, but I don't know how this is going to land. And sometimes you guys are all over it. And then other times I'm like, oh, they're going to love this one. And people are just like, nah, not feeling it. So, it's weird. I never really know. And I love that. But you guys loved Atlas Collier. So I'm glad. And I have reached out to him. Maybe we can get him on the channel. I feel like I don't seem to be very good at reaching out to people. I try my best to get interviews and stuff. And to be honest, there are some on the door that are kind of waiting to happen, and they're just not happening due to my own lack of organization. But there have been many more that I've reached out for that just don't seem to work. So I don't know if that's a me problem. Maybe I say too much wild shit on here. That is a possibility. But that also won't change because, just got to be who we are. Sometimes we like to get a little bit freaky. That's just who we are. Sorry, I'm just trying to pull something up here. We got some amazing photos that just came through of the Aurora Australis. I think that's what it's called anyway. Right now, you guys might know there was just recently a large coronal mass ejection from our giant ball of plasma that keeps us warm. And we got some amazing pictures from the oh god. From the weirdos. Okay, I found them. You guys are going to really these are actually insane. I probably should have saved them a little bit earlier. My apologies. They get better as we go, so just let me collect a few of them. And obviously because I'm streaming, my computer is running very slowly. I should have just picked the best ones first. Krista says, oh god. There's going to be a lot of that happening. Okay. And okay, these are incredible. Sorry, I'm like blue balling you guys saying how good they are and you can't see shit. Bear with me. Okay, I've got them now. Now let me pull them in for you guys. Look at this. This was taken in South Australia like 2 hours ago. God damn it. 9:52. Yeah, 2 hours ago. 2.5 hours ago in Australia, this was taken. Absolutely insane. And this isn't even the best one. I'll show it to you guys a little bit bigger. This was taken on like a 6-second shutter. I can't remember the rest of the camera stats, but off the top of my head, the shutter was like 6 seconds. And pretty much that's it. So it's not like it's not been edited or anything like that. There's this one. Like, look at that purple. I mean, come on. That one's, I mean, the trees in this one are beautiful, obviously, but it does block out the beauty of the sky. But this last one, this is the real source. Look at this. This is 2 hours ago in South Australia. That's crazy. That's not edited. Tell me purple isn't the coolest color. Come on. What a shot. I know, right? Shout out to Roy, legend of the community, getting us these beautiful snaps, bringing us the purple. What an absolute legend. Also taking care of my beautiful 4-legged daughter at the moment. Thank you very much, sir. You are an absolute king. And let me just get rid of this as well. Actually, you know what? I think, first of all, how are we all feeling about this press conference, right? Because this is obviously a little bit different. It's a little bit different to what we're used to in terms of it's not a congressional setting. It doesn't have 50% of the people speaking already, with most people sus dogging them before they even take the stand. So I don't know. I'm interested to think, and I think we should throw up a poll, like an early poll, just to see where people are sitting right now. And then later on, we can see where people are at. But I'm I laugh at myself when I say this, but I am hopeful. I'm hopeful. This is going to be the one, man. This is going to be the one. This time it's actually going to make a difference, I swear. Okay, how are we feeling? How are we feeling about the James Fox press conference? Positive? Positive. Give me some ideas for answers here. There's like positive. There is just like, I don't want to say negative, but I guess if you're going to have positive, you can have negative. But I feel like there needs to be more. There's something in the middle, right? What is in the middle? I guess neutral is in the middle, but I mean that's boring. But it works. It works for now. Positive, negative, neutral. I think I've spelled neutral wrong, but you get that when you don't finish high school. You will get that on these kind of operations. Labrador Mum has gifted 5 memberships. Labrador Mum, you are a sweetheart. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Winston says today's a good day to get extra weird. Absolutely. When you've got that kind of those purple mass ejections getting injected into our consciousness, we are getting primed up. We are getting primed up, ladies and gentlemen, to let out our most strangest selves. Brickfoot Music J says lots of luck and love to James today. Shout out to James. For a moment, I thought we were talking about the guy with the tube. I still have PTSD, but thank you. He's talking about James Fox. Thank you very much. Jen says, sending love and light to my weirdo family because we could all do with more love in the world. And she is celebrating 1 month as a member. Couldn't have said it better myself, Jen. And thank you very much for a month of support. What about Jash? Yeah. Well, we still haven't seen Josh and Jash in the room at the same time. Who knows what's going on there? The skies are going purple. Josh and Jash are not in the same room together. We're getting a UFO hearing with people who aren't mildly suspect. The world could be healing. I sure hope so. What happened to Cylindrical James? It's a good question, Jack. I actually don't know. I haven't caught up with that. I hope he's doing well though. I hope he's scheming up his next internet scam. I'll keep tabs on it. I'm sure he'll do well. Are we going to see the return of Jake Barber? Jake bloody Barber. I don't know if he'll be. I doubt he would be there. I don't see why he would. Unless he was part of the helicopter team that came and picked up the alien and took it back to America. I don't know. Are we going to play sus or nah during the hearing? I don't have a game of sus or what was it? Sus or what? What did I call it? Whatever we called it back then. I don't have it set up, but I do. You guys, well, the members have the sus dog emoji now. I gave you guys sus dog. So whenever you're feeling like something's a little sus, you can put up sus dog. And I also have a giant sus dog that I can put up as well whenever I'm feeling it. Actually, look, let's jump over there quickly. So here's my sus dog. Whenever something's feeling a little off, he pops up. Okay, he just pops up. Look at the size of those ears, right? Whenever he hears something that just doesn't seem right, he pops up. I don't control him. He's on his own leash. Look, while we're here, let's just preface everything that goes on today with this.
For anybody who wants to attend the press conference, media, can interested members of the public attend, James?
100. We encourage it. We encourage free streaming. Post it to various platforms, anywhere you like, globally. We are giving the green light for all of that, and it's open to the public. It doesn't cost anything. You don't need a press pass. Come on in. We welcome all.
Perfect. Thank you very much, James. I will do my best. I will do my best. Let's close out the poll. Interesting. Very, very interesting. For the leading vote is 47% of you guys are feeling neutral. 45% of you guys are feeling positive, and 8% are feeling negative. There's always a small subsect who just aren't having it, but they're still here. And we love that. 47% sitting neutral about this. For those of you who did vote neutral, voice it to me. Talk to me. What is it? Like, what is, like, how are you feeling? Do you think this is just going to be another, you know, nothing burger, as the kids like to say? Or are you just burnt out? What's going on there? Because, like I was sort of saying before I got distracted, the fact that this is real, and the Varginha case itself, I think, is one of the most compelling cases. And you guys know, I actually found out I think I mentioned this the other day. It happened on my birthday. Not the year I was born, only a couple of years off, but it happened on my birthday. And I don't know. I find that kind of strange. There's 365 opportunities that this could have happened the same day that I spawned into this world. I don't know. Maybe I was actually on that ship. Maybe my consciousness was on that ship. You become conscious like when you're about like 4 years old, don't you? That kind of lines up. They brought my consciousness down here and injected it into my little toddler body. Kind of sounded weird. Anyway, maybe they transplanted an alien soul into you, Josh. I think so. I that was about the age when I started to have coherent thought, and I was like, what the fuck is going on here, and what am I doing here? Are you really 17? Yes, I am. Thomas, you little freak, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate you very much. Where was I? Where were we? The Varginha case, one of the most compelling, and I think that's because of the level and amount of testimony that comes with it. And obviously, I think we're going to be, actually, I don't know if the neurosurgeon is going to be here. I heard that they were denying people's visas to come to this thing, and the amount of people who were meant to be is testifying even the right word if it's not under oath? Is it still called testifying, or is it just like speaking? Whatever it is. Apparently they were denying visas. So I don't know exactly who's going to be there. I'm pretty sure, is his name like John D'Souza? John D'Souza? I think that's the name. The guy who saw the craft, and when he was telling his story was getting super emotional. I'm pretty sure he's going to be there. I don't know who else. Talktifying, that works. But these people, you know, the three women who saw this thing and just stick to their story 30 years later, and still have like a bit of a visceral emotional reaction when they're retelling it. The guy what was his name? The guy who like threatened them with a gun to leave, that he didn't want to talk about it. And wasn't that the guy? Help me out here, chat. In Moment of Contact, when James Fox goes to the guy's house, and he's got a gun at the window, and he's saying like, I will remove you with bullets or something like that. That guy, from my understanding, is the one who drove the car when someone else had the alien in their hand and taking it to the hospital. Is that correct? So he was sitting within 2 feet of this alien. Yes, that is correct. Okay, good. Eric Lopez. Yes. That's, bro, we just got to go in there and get that guy out. I'm sorry. Get him out. Protect him. Hopefully he doesn't shoot you in the process. Get him out and get this man on camera. And probably to a hospital for his own good. And all of our good, actually. The Men in Black got to him. Something got to him. Something made that man become an absolute recluse hermit. And what is it? Like, yeah, it's like 30 years. Is it? It's literally 30 years. Yeah, it's literally just gone 30 years. Actually, interestingly, where can I pull this up for you guys? No, that's not going to work. So you guys will see on the thumbnail, there's that picture of like the red-eyed alien looking thing, right? I got this picture from a post from, oh God, I don't want to butcher his name. Ronnie Ronnie Vinay. Is that how you say it? It's definitely not Ronnie Vernet. I'm going to go with Ronnie Vinay. Anyway, he posted this picture, and this is what he said. He did it ages ago. I'm trying to find it. I saved it to talk about, and I never talked about it. Okay, I think actually we can pull this up here. You guys will be. This is interesting because I've not heard anything about this. Ronnie Pickering. I'm Ronnie Pickering.
Anybody who wants to attend.
Okay. Right. This will have to do. I know it's not ideal, but this will have to do for now. So, Ronnie Vinay, that's what I'm going with. After more than a year of field investigation, my new documentary is ready for release. It uncovers decades-long black magic ritual experiments conducted by millionaires in the city of Varginha to summon hybrid human-animal red-eyed creatures carried out in the same forest where the alleged aliens were reported. Hello? Like, this is a whole angle that I've heard nothing about. And for anyone who doesn't know, Ronnie is like one of, if not the most prominent Brazilian UFO researcher. So he's not just a random guy. He's like, in Brazil, he's like the guy. So I've not heard anyone talk about anything like this. So James Fox doesn't talk about anything about this in his documentary. And then he says, the film also presents multiple eyewitnesses' testimonies of these creatures, new military testimony, and a previously unreleased Brazilian government document revealing part of the cover-up. Dark Side of UFOs in Brazil, Power, Money, and Rituals premieres on January 20th. Do you know what day it is, ladies and gentlemen? Ladies and gentlemen, it is January 20th. Okay? There it is. Dark Side of UFOs in Brazil, Power, Money, Rituals, celebrating 30 years of the Varginha incident. So I don't know. There's this, someone says something in Spanish and is linked Ronnie's YouTube. I can maybe assume he's saying, where can I watch it? And he's saying, you can watch it on my YouTube. I could be completely wrong there, but I'm just kind of assuming. Let's have a look. Oh, okay. Here's the documentary. Here's the trailer. Okay, maybe we, if this, I'll try to watch this. If it's got a lot of music, I probably won't be able to. So I realized you guys can't actually even hear anything. That's probably for the best though, because there is music. And it's all dubbed as well. It's all dubbed. There you go. So this should be out. I don't know. Maybe he's waiting for this press conference thing to happen and then release the movie with the hype. I'm not sure, but it's literally due to come out today. And for anyone who just tuned in late there, this is Brazilian UFO researcher who studied this case for a long time, is releasing his own movie about the Varginha case, focusing more on the decades-long black magic ritual experiments conducted by millionaires in the city of Varginha to summon hybrid human-animal red-eyed creatures carried out in the same forest where the alleged aliens were reported. Bombshell? Bombshell, anyone? God, give it to me. Come on. Okay, we are just under half an hour away from things kicking off. Draco Lucis says, this may be the closest we've come to public disclosure since Greer in the 90s. We all know how that went down, like a wet fart. Maybe this one won't be wet, but will still spread the smell far and wide. Still semi-hopeful. I like the analogy, sir. I like the analogy. I hope this fart is a fart that rumbles so loudly that everyone in the room turns and knows immediately who did it. I want this to make waves, and I hope it does. Tara, you little freak, thank you for becoming a member. Angel Grimm, you're a freak as well. Thank you very much. And Winston celebrating 3 months says, 22 got a dip. We'll finish later. Stay freaky weirdos. Thank you very much, Winston. I'm sure we all intend to. What Ra says about thought forms may match this. So the Ra series, we're 2 episodes in. Doesn't really seem to be resonating overall with the audience, which is a bit of a shame because it's I really enjoy it. I really enjoy reading it. But I think what I might do is just to give it give it a fair run and some, a good introduction for anyone who is into it. We'll probably do at least a couple more episodes. And sort of if it just continues to track how it is, we'll probably just let it lie and it will serve as an introduction for anyone who wants to go deeper into the topic. If I had more time on my hands right now, I would love to just keep doing it anyway. Like if I was back home in Australia, I'd probably just keep doing it anyway. But right now, being overseas, trying to make content in like a new environment and also trying to sort of get another channel running off the ground as well. And also, have time to myself, go to the gym, normal stuff. I'm feeling like I'm stretched pretty thin and I'm just trying to find like a nice new routine. So the hours that I am applying to the channel, I kind of want them to be working. You know what I mean? You want to be putting it into a place that's actually serving myself and the channel. So unfortunate, but and who knows, maybe later down the line we can pick it back up again. But I think for now, we'll just create it as like a little intro and we can pick it up maybe another time down the line. Drucifer says Rumble farts only over here. Okay, I like it. I don't want to start a sub-train of everyone telling me what their farts are like, but if that is what the gods will, then that is what they will. I've got the sugar can of sugar and the bowl of sugar here. Okay, see that bowl of sugar? That's because I just didn't feel like a coffee, but I knew I needed a little bit of something to get through this because I'm normally in bed playing RuneScape now, watching RuneScape videos. Okay, this is not normal for me, but sometimes you got to do it. Sometimes you got to put in the late shift, Gummy worms, they are sour worms and gummy bears. Yeah. Sugar is demonic. Yeah. What isn't these days? What isn't demonic these days? You know what I'm saying? The Ra stuff is super deep and love it. It's all about polarity. It is. It really is. And that is why I was kind of hoping it would resonate a little bit more with the channel because it really does embody what my sort of like ethos is for this channel. And if you are a member, if you are a member, go back to the very first members video that was ever uploaded. And that is basically me explaining what that is and kind of like what I want out of this and what my sort of mission is for this whole channel. I haven't watched it in a long, long time. In fact, I don't think I could bring myself to watching that video, but I know what I said in there and I don't need to go and watch it again, but you guys can go and watch it if you want to see that. But that is what it's about. This is just about, ultimately exploring the true nature of reality and being very aware of the fact that life is much more complex and interesting and crazier than we're led to believe. But I guess on that path, helping people break out of like binary thinking and realizing that to approach and dig into a complex reality, you kind of have to have like not a complex mind, but not like a rigid belief system. And things don't have to be just black or white. And the truth is most of the time they actually are very, very in the middle of that. That is generally how life is. And that's just kind of the message I wanted to, I guess, help people with. And that's why I like to do a lot of thought experiments on the channel. And sometimes I'll just talk about ideas that I may not even necessarily agree or believe in, but I think they're important. You know what I mean? Josh, cognitive overload is real, though. You need to simplify what you know. I do my best to do that. I do my best to keep it simple. That's definitely what I try to do. And bro, the thing is, I didn't even finish high school. Okay, so like, I'm not really a smart guy. Like academically, I'm not smart at all. Um, that's why I say I'm a vibes guy. I'm very vibe led, and I lean into like, I just sort of go with my gut with everything, and that seems to work for me. So I do try to. That's part of like what this channel is as well, right? And I said this the other day. If you go back to the first videos, this whole channel is like a visual documentation of me learning, of like me going through this and trying to bring people with me for the journey and to like break it all down and explore it all with me. I'm not, when I started this channel, I think my banner or my bio used to say something like, I'm not a, I'm not trying to be like a guru, but I'm just trying to like help guide people. Like I'm finding my way too, and whoever wants to come with me, sort of thing. That's what this is about. I'm 48 years old and I still say fuck the public school system. Yeah, I can agree with that. I mean, public or private. Well, you know, I mean, like these are fun blanket statements to say. It's very fun to say fuck the system and fuck school, and absolutely, I'm here for it. But also, it like this, like education is important, but not from a system that is trying to indoctrinate you and teach you that this is how you succeed in life. When in reality, what they're doing is they're saying this is how you become a slave that pays me tax and wages for the rest of your life, and shut the fuck up, eat fluoride, watch Love Island, and give me money. That's what it's actually doing. That's what it's actually teaching you to do. But obviously, education is important. It's just like, where are we getting it from? What is it teaching us? Is it teaching me how to be a good? Is it teaching me about how to process my emotions? Is it teaching me about meditation? Is it teaching me how to connect with other people and have functional relationships? No, no, actually, I don't think I learned any of that in school. Any of that. I learned more in the last 10 years ever. Deep diving stuff, no TV. Yep. Hey, as Alex Collier said, throw the TV out. Throw your TV out unless you're watching me on it right now. If not, throw it out. If you're watching me on it right now, you need the TV. If not, throw it out. I had so much fun in GATE and public school. They taught me how to astral project. Really? They taught you how to astral project in the GATE program, Beth? That's crazy. Tell me more about that. Dan says, didn't finish high school either. Taught mostly everything I needed to know myself, the important stuff they don't teach you. Yep, I would agree. I would agree with that. You know, I would say, I mean, look, again, we're speaking in very blanket statements here, but I would say one of the more important things that we get from school is like being taught how to socialize, like socializing, being with people, learning how to share, learning how to cooperate, learning how to play in teams. Like these things, I think are very important. Although, given our sort of infected society that we live in that social journey, there is like things like bullying and, you know, cyberbullying now, and kids coming home depressed because there's other kids at school that are, you know, making fun of them, and, you know, kids that are 9 years old think that they are just at like the epitome and pinnacle of life, and it will never get any better than this. And unfortunately, they can't quite see the perspective of what time does yet, and that they basically think their world is over. And some kids actually do end their life, which is sad. But was it today? God, time's warping on me. I'm in a time warp. Was it today that I said about like I don't know. We said something about bullying. Alex Collier said we're being bullied by a non-human intelligence, and that is the root of the suppression on our planet. And it made me wonder if bullying in schools is sort of like a microcosm of that, and it's the way humanity like expresses itself through these like dysfunctional relationships, because at the top there is something like pressing down on us, and that's, you know, like that energy sort of has to express in some way, And because that's pushing down, you're getting this kind of like negative output. Education is not the filling of the pail, but the lighting of a fire. Interesting. Thank you very much, Ra Clark. Let me throw a love heart on that one. Oh, I've missed a couple here. Severed Culture also says, who else is craving dark chocolate and cherry cordials after seeing that thumbnail? I can see that, actually. I'm more of a Black Forest guy myself. Cadbury Black Forest goes pretty damn hard. When you bite into a block of Cadbury Black Forest and you hit that little cherry jelly piece. Yes, please. Yes, please. Television that made the earth flat again. I think the earth has to be flat once for that to be a thing. Someone said in the live stream earlier today, I can't wait for Josh to finally realize the earth is flat or something like that. I can't remember who it was. I just don't know about that one. I'm down to talk lizard people all day. But there's just something about flat earth. Like, put it this way. If the earth is flat, where is there room for the lizard people to live underneath us? No, I don't know. It's just something about the flat earth theory that I don't know. Just doesn't feel right. I feel like I've been up high enough in a plane to almost see the curvature of the earth too. So I don't know. What do you guys think about that one? Do we have any flat earthers in the chat? No hate to you, by the way, if you are. No hate to you at all. I would love to talk to you, actually. And so also, if you watch the end of the live stream today, I played the little trailer for my interview with Armin Hillman that's coming out in the next couple. Actually, it'll be coming out in 36 hours. It'll be scheduled this time tomorrow, and it will come out like the next morning. Like that. I like talking to people like that who have a completely like different worldview to me. And when I say different, it's not that like I don't believe him. It's just like his perspective is obviously vastly different than mine is. I like talking to people like that. And after I played the clip, like I saw a few comments. I saw someone say something like, "What's happened to this channel? He's become a Satanist." And it's just funny to me because, again, like I said earlier, this whole channel is just about exploring the weird, right? And so I like talking to people like that because I don't think, like, first of all, Armin Hillman isn't a Satanist in the traditional sense of like worshiping the devil, right? And we get into that in the podcast. But when someone comes across perhaps as a Satanist or a devil worshiper, I don't think, oh, devil worshiper, get away. Right? I don't think that. I think surely you didn't just wake up and say, I want to worship what the general consensus of evil is. So talk to me. Like, what do you think the devil is? Why are you saying Hail Satan? What is it about that makes you feel good? And how did you like arrive at that? I want like and it's not because I want to do it. It's because I want to understand it. And even understanding something doesn't mean like I'll believe it myself, but like just being able to understand someone gives you it enriches your worldview and your perspective because I mean, I think understanding each other would probably fix a lot of turmoil in the world. Doesn't mean you have to agree with each other, but just being like, oh yeah, you know, that guy's into some stuff that's a little bit weird to me, but he's a sound dude. He's a sound dude, and you know, that's his thing. Good on him. You know what I mean? Dusty G with a $50 super chat to treat myself to some chocolate. Dusty, I'm going to get 10 blocks of Cadbury Black Forest with that. Thank you very, very much. That's extremely generous, bro. Thank you. Long-time supporter of the channel, I know. Thank you, brother. And Fishler Stickler says, I'm feeling oily and ready for Daddy Fox to mass eject some real news. Wow, wow, wow. But if I'm honest, so am I. So am I. Don't touch the aliens, though, people. You may die. Be aware of that. But you should be able to smell them coming. That is one. That is one thing we always hear, isn't it? That these aliens frickin' stink. Why do you aliens frickin' stink so much? What is that actually about? Are they from here, or are we not from here? Or are we both not from here? Are we both competing for this little patch of the cosmos? Josh, please do a deep dive into the God Eaters series of by Chuck Swindoll Jr. Oh my gosh, sir. Should I just ban myself from YouTube? Should I just write a letter to Mark Zuckerberg and say, hey, I'm going to cover the God Eaters series by Chuck Swindoll Jr.? You know, the one that details a complete timeline from ancient history until today about how the Khazarian mafia run the world, and they do so through killing people and creating taxes out of thin air. Yeah, I'm going to cover that, so just ban me now. I'm going to do a deep dive on that, so just wipe me off the internet, please. I would love to, and I think it's fascinating, but probably not the smartest move. You know what I'm saying? Could be when they feel threatened, like a skunk. Interesting. Threatened like a skunk. You reckon they start stanking it up a little bit? Well, it definitely seems to have an effect on us. I mean, like every experiencer is like, man, they stink. They stink. So it is. Hold up. I think I could hear a Pine Gap pigeon trying to get through my window. It's such a trip wearing headphones. It's such a trip wearing headphones because it's so noise canceling. And because it's late, I don't know if I'm being loud as fuck. I probably am. Now I'm paranoid. The pigeons are showing up in the chat too. According to Dr. Italo, the aliens stink because they don't have asses to shite through. It goes out through their skin. I think you were being serious, and I love that. And it makes sense. It does make sense. They don't have a butthole, so they just shit through their skin. What a way to live. What a way to live. And if that is the case, though, with all of their advanced technology, they couldn't figure out antiperspirant. You guys can go intergalactic and dematerialize and use your consciousness to control the craft, but you couldn't figure out antiperspirant? That's crazy. That's what they say. Many people have said that. Pretty sure Phil Schneider also said they excrete through their skin. Yeah, a lot of people. I have heard that. I have heard a lot of people say that there is some kind of skin excretion. I've also heard that, like, I guess this would make sense as well, that the cattle mutilation stuff is to, like, feed themselves. And they're using, like, the, I don't know, blood, I guess, of cows to rub on their skin, and that's like nutrients in. And then they just smell like shit for nutrients out. But yeah, the Varginha type seem to have been brown, red, and defensive to white, like when in the hospital. That's what's interesting as well, is like the neurosurgeon was saying how powerful this being felt, like being in its presence. It felt like angelic, and that it was like intelligently so much more superior than everybody in the room. But like at the moment when the three girls saw it, it was like cowering, it was scared. And a lot of the people who sort of came into contact with it said it had this feeling of just being like scared and wanting help. And it makes me wonder, it's like, why was it so defenseless? Like, are they defenseless when they're not connected or with like their craft and their technology? Like, did this being just get caught at like a bad moment in a bad way? You know, got like literally like um proverbially like caught with its pants down. Even though it doesn't have any pants on at all, it got caught with its pants down. Somehow, some way, I don't know. But it's like, why is this superior being cowering and so defenseless? Maybe he was out of Wi-Fi signal. He was out of something because the ship couldn't find him, right? I mean, part of the story is that there was a ship in Varginha, like scanning the neighborhood in some kind of like, very like rigid pattern, like cross hatch checking all of the streets from above. Polarity Pine Gap Pigeon Pajama Party. There we go. Get your Pine Gap Pigeon pajamas on, people. People of Polarity, get your Pine Gap Pigeon Polarity pajamas on. So a delicious beef tongue recipe. Okay, have fun with that. I'll let you enjoy that one, Angel. Maybe they have no idea what being scared even is. That's probably not even an emotion. If an emotion is a thing for some aliens, I don't know. They're not people. Yep, that exactly. I think that last statement you said there, Tara, is a big one. They're not people. And applying like human ways of thinking. Okay. We're in a storm. That's what the noise is. We're in a storm. So hopefully the internet actually stays up. Applying the human way of thinking to really anything about them is kind of dumb, right? Because it's just kind of like arrogant. I mean, it could be. They are, bipedal. They do have two eyes, two legs, all this kind of stuff. But they could be so far beyond us that our concepts and processes to them are just like primitive. It'd almost be like a caveman watching a human start a fire with a lighter, and the caveman being like, look at this guy. He thinks he knows what he's doing. He doesn't actually know that you have to go and rub sticks together for 20 minutes. This guy thinks you could just get this little machine and do it, when really you're supposed to rub sticks together for 20 minutes. Everyone knows that. It's kind of like the same thing, maybe a little bit. So many people have experienced telepathic fear from them. I wonder though if like the fear part is the internal, because a lot of people have experienced telepathic, I wouldn't say enlightenment, but like feelings of safety, calmness, messages, a lot of things that aren't necessarily fear. And it makes me wonder if like those parts is just like the part of us that's reflecting out, like our state of being is kind of what comes out. And the sprite's coming back up. You hear this with like, people talking about like summoning entities, right? It's all just like a mirror of yourself. It's all just a mirror of yourself. If you're in like a dark space, you're going to summon some dark shit, because it's really almost just like an extension of yourself in another dimension. It might even be yourself. It might even be your higher dimensional self that you're calling in. That's the stuff I'm really sort of into at the moment. Not invoking demons, right? That's not what I mean. But like the fact that like a lot of, these like moments of intuition, downloads, your higher self, entities that we consciously connect to, be it potentially like plasma in the sky or just like some kind of telepathic connection that we establish? Is it actually just kind of us in a higher dimension that sort of like spans where like time isn't this thing that we kind of go through one at a time? You know what I mean? We kind of, time is the past and the present is all existing, and that version of ourself exists in that. These concepts are hard to sort of voice sometimes, especially when I'm thinking on the spot. But I think a lot of you guys kind of understand where I'm coming from here. Pavel, nice to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well. Big fan. Great interview the other day as well. Really enjoyed it. Can't remember the guy's name because I'd never heard of him before. That's why. And that's also why I really enjoyed it, because it was someone new that I'd never heard from. Going balls deep on the New Jersey drones, documenting all that kind of stuff. That was a really good one, man. You're absolutely killing it. Finally got to catch a live. Love your stuff. Thank you for being here. We are 2.5 minutes away from this starting. But like I said, though, look, I want to be careful with playing too much of like of Ross and Megan's coverage. We might watch a little bit at the start just to kind of hear them introduce what's going on. But I think, you know, if they're going to be sitting on their screen, just kind of chit chatting, you know, we can do our own chit chat here, but we will cover and listen to the actual hearing, and it's not a hearing, the testimony. We will absolutely do that. Never go balls deep in drones. Your skin gets snagged in the engine. Yes, I would not recommend that. I would not recommend that. Almost as bad as getting it caught in the zipper. So I've heard from testimony. John Joe Jr. celebrating 3 months says Fox has been after video evidence. This might be an announcement. Josh, get ready. Great stream, by the way. Thank you very much, bro. Thank you for the 3 months. Yeah. So apparently there is a video of this alien that exists somewhere, and I believe it was taken in or just outside of the hospital. Something to do, like it was filmed by a Brazilian soldier who took the video unauthorized because he knew the Americans were coming to basically take this being and get out of there. So he was kind of like, fuck you, I'm gonna film this. Post it. I don't have it. I don't have that video. If I did, I would, but I don't, unfortunately. About a minute to go until this stream starts. So you know what? We'll jump over here. We'll watch this clip one more time, just as a preface for the copyright lords, Matt Ford and the Children of Baal.
Anybody who wants to attend the press conference, media, can interested members of the public attend, James?
100. We encourage it. We encourage free streaming. Post it to various platforms, anywhere you like, globally. We are giving the green light for all of that, and it's open to the public. It doesn't cost anything. You don't need a press pass. Come on in. We welcome all.
Thank you very much, James. I will do my best to spread your message far and wide, sir. Okay, let's. The sound is on, starting in 10 seconds. We'll hear the intro, and then we might cut the sound until the actual press conference starts. And that was okay. We don't. What is that? That is. Get rid of that, please.
Well, good morning, good evening, good day.
What is that bell?
Hello, Megan Medic from...
What the hell is that bell? Oh, it's the freaking timer. Holy hell, that's horrible. Stop.
Your lips. So hold.
It's the Google timer that I had running. My God.
Hey, on my audio here.
Sorry. Sorry, everyone.
Ross, can you speak? Can you?
Boomer.
Megan, can you hear us?
I can hear you, Megan, but unfortunately there is a 5-second audio.
Okay, sounds like Ross and Megan are having their own sound technical difficulties right now. My word. That was actually beginning to worry me. My first thought was, Is this a bell that happens when you're waiting for a live stream and it just starts ringing a bell to let you know the live stream is beginning? Then it wouldn't stop. I was thinking, like, surely these guys must hear bells when my live stream starts. They're going to tell me how to stop it. No, no one was. They were just laughing at me. So it looks like Megan is at the conference and Ross is in Australia. I'm pretty sure this is Ross's home. Who can we see here? I think that's James. You guys can see my mouse. Amazing. I think this might be James Fox right here. What does it say up on the screen? If you have official information on Varginha event, email momentofcontact@proton.me. Worst bell ever. Yeah, that was so loud. Was it loud for you guys? It was extremely loud for me. It was horrible. All right, what do we got?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're obviously doing the live feed of the Brazil Varginha UAP press.
All right. Yeah, look, at the end of the day, it looks like News Nation are having more technical issues than us people. So I think we are not in any rush. We can continue listening to loud bells and taking our time while these people sort their shit out. And it doesn't actually look like the conference is going to start yet anyway. Loud as it woke me the fuck up, that's for sure. My apologies, guys. My apologies. But hey, there you go. I woke you up just in time for the conference to start. I think there's a silver lining in this one. Ross is in Bali with Josh. He's got the bootleg Wi-Fi. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, to be fair, what have you got here? They've got a camera. They've got 2 cameras at this event, and they've got someone coming in from Australia. I wonder what they are using to stream this. Probably StreamYard, I guess. I don't know. Can you play it again for me in 7 hours? Sure. I'll just stay live 24/7 and you guys can send in super chats for when you want me to put your alarm on. And then you can wake up to me just going, what the hell is going on, you little freak? Wake up. It's time to attack the day and pay your taxes to the Satanists. Kelly Hall, thanks for the snow day. Are you serious? Did you actually get a snow day? Kelly, tell us. Scotty Wee says, today, can we all be full of love and kindness? Let's be the difference together for this conference. Pavel, I love you. There we go. Love for Pavel in the chat, and I hope so. I hope this is the day for some difference. And I'm just looking out for Kelly in the chat here, because if you were here this morning when we did part 2 of the Alex Collier, she put in a super chat and she said, can we all please channel a snow day so she could stay up late with her internet friends and be weird online? And we did. And she woke up to a snow day, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. The power of the people. You love to see it. You love to see it. See how powerful we are?
The picture of two of them. I'm going to turn the camera. Oh, nope, just one of them. We have Carlos over here in the hat. As you know, Carlos was on the scene when the crash happened. Is it just my picture live now?
Carlos D'Souza. Is that who it is? I said John D'Souza. I think that's an FBI agent. I think John D'Souza is an FBI agent, but no, it's Carlos D'Souza. That's who she's saying, and that's who they were showing there. Did I miss the announcements? No, you are right on time, sir. They are just filing in at the moment. As you can see, they are working out their technical difficulties. And we're going to check in on Ross and Megan just every now and then, because we're not just going to sit here and watch their live stream. But once the press conference actually begins, we will be giving it our full attention. The CIA is going all out, jamming the comms today. There is definitely, I think if we could get a live feed of outside of this conference, there would be a few pigeons flying around that have glowing red eyes, 100%. Pavel, Josh, and Patrick, the UAP Trinity. I like it. We should put our rings together like Captain Planet and summon the lady. Summoned the lady to bring about a new knowledge. Wasn't Captain Planet a show? He even had a mullet. Captain Planet, mullets for disclosure. What a show that was. Don't forget UAP Gerb. Yep, there's many more we could list into that trinity. Many more people doing their thing to push the conversation forward, which we love. Alexander, you little weirdo. Thank you very much for gifting a membership. Let's get some love in the chat for the new weirdos and Alex and for Kelly's snow day. Now Kelly can stay up late with her weird friends on the internet. What a time to be alive. Power of the mullet. Yes, sir. Party in the back. I'm getting close to my Britney moment where I'm going to shave my head. I can feel it. Every day I fight the masculine urge to shave my head off. It's going to happen.
Brazil allegedly touched one of the beings and received a scratch under his armpit. And because of that scratch, ended up dying 26 days later. So he did the autopsy on this young man that died. And he's saying that there were no pharmaceuticals at the time to treat this infection. The biologics there are not human. They are not from this world. Even today, 30 years later, of continuing to study this man's tissue, of what was in his tissue, there's still not an antibiotic that exists.
I'm curious. Shave my head off. Yep, I'm going to shave it clean off, the whole head. I'm curious what you guys think about this. This is just my own take, my own observations, and I want to know if anyone else has noticed this. But through the lifespan of News Nation, specifically Reality Check, where Ross and Megan did their like Q&As and all of this kind of stuff, I feel like at the beginning, Megan was not really like, she didn't really know much about the UFO topic. And it almost just felt like, look, I could be completely just creating my own story here, but this is my story in my head. This is my story of how News Nation hire people. They hired Ross and were like, hey, Ross, we're going to get you to do a Q&A program. We have this girl called Megan. She's going to be your producer. You guys, hi, I'm Ross. Hi, I'm Megan. I'm not really I don't really know anything about UFOs. Okay, cool. And then they started doing this show together. And now over time, Meghan Markle, or is that her name? Wait, no, that's the freaking, the royal lady. What's her name? I can't remember. Megan from Reality Check has been red pilled through her job. And I think she is now balls deep into the UFO topic. Has anyone else noticed that? Meghan Markle from News Nation has been red pilled by Ross Coulthard. What do you guys think about that? Has anyone else noticed that? Because I think she's really into this shit now, and I don't think she ever used to be. Megan O'Rada, thank you very much. I think I like Meghan Markle more. I might stick with that. She's royalty to us UFO nerds, that's for sure.
And I will just give you a big 360 view of what is going on. So here we've got like the backstage area. I am in the front row. Hello, there's my head. There's everyone all behind me. Our News Nation photographer is behind me.
That's a significant turn. That's an impressive bunch of
we got
people.
People waving. And then we have the stage, of course, right here. And then we have James is getting ready to walk onto the stage with one of the translators. So it is a significant turnout. And funny, this morning, I was at the News Nation GC Bureau.
Man, their sound is worse than mine. Worse than mine. Oh, James looks like he's out. James is out. Not speaking yet.
Thank you guys so much for coming.
Oh.
It's a pleasure to see you guys here. Thank you guys so much for coming. It's a pleasure to see you guys here.
So,
Oh, is that the sound quality that we're gonna get? That's crazy. That's almost worse than the. Remember the press conference they did last year with like Eric Davis and where Lou showed the photo of the cornfield. That's like that quality of sound. This could be a rough ride, ladies and gentlemen. Dude, 5 minutes before you said that, I said to my partner, we need a back scroll on Megan's journey. She was a skeptic to begin with, 100%. Thank you very much, Dave Bryson. I love it when you guys validate me. I love that. The hive mind strengthens every single day, people. We are creating something special here, and it is a hive mind. And every single stream, there is at least someone who is like, man, I was literally thinking about this yesterday, and here we are talking about it. The hive mind is real.
Are we having any problems with the sound feedback from the direct feed? James is concerned about the sound.
Yes, fix it.
The feed itself sounds okay. This is Andy. The feed sounds okay through the art box.
Yeah, I think it's working fine now. We were getting an echo back earlier,
Hey,
Megan,
Ross.
but it seems to have fixed itself.
Ross is fed up. He's so fed up he can't even move.
Is there any
The energy
mention?
in the room.
Is there any mention, Megan, of whether any of these witnesses have met with congressional representatives or senators? Has there been any political engagement with any of these witnesses?
Yes. So James
Who invited the guy with the fedora?
say that there was a meeting. I do not have the details of that, but James did let us know that those meetings happened on Thursday, and those were all the details that we were allowed to receive at that time.
That's interesting. That's interesting. So these people who are coming to speak today, the other day met with people in a congressional type of setting, in more of an official capacity. That's interesting to hear. I mean, what does it mean, though? It looks like Leslie Keane there as well. Like, what does it mean? It sounds exciting when we hear that these people have met with, you know, high-level people in the government, congressional settings, whatever. But it's like, yeah, so did David Grush. David Grush gave you addresses. Apparently, you've had many people come in and tell you things in high-level congressional settings in skiffs, and I don't know what's happened. And I hope that I'm just being like entitled. I hope that I'm just being like an entitled idiot on the internet who's not getting what he wants quick enough. And I hope that there actually is something brewing in the background to make some kind of large scale shift towards real disclosure. I really do. But I think it's if anything, it's my position to continue to apply that pressure to do it quicker. It's all of our position to do that, because in reality, if no one was, it may not even happen. Like that pressure, which may come across as like self-entitled, obnoxious, arrogant at times, right? Depending on how it's applied. At the end of the day, however it is applied, that pressure is kind of what is required to make change. Would it be possible to lower the volume of the feed for the time being, even a little bit? Yeah. I think I think you might just be very behind. We don't need them for disclosure. Too bad normies only believe those who lie to us about this stuff. Yeah. Yeah. I honestly think that if Trump ever does come out and say we are not alone, I genuinely don't think many people will care. Like, I think it will just be it'll be a little bit higher level than anything we've had before, but ultimately it will be the same result in like that of, for the next like week, UFO nerds will be like, yeah, see, told ya. But then it will just kind of like simmer back down and it'll be like, well, what time's the football on? When does Love Island start? What are we getting from Wendy's? You know what I mean? Like that's what'll happen. It'll all just seep back into the same sort of mold and pattern that it was all in before it was disturbed. Dude, I'm sus on fedora guy. Never trust the guy in a fedora. Especially if he's like over 40. Never trust that man. Just look into the tridactyls. You won't have doubt anymore. I'd need to see him for myself. I mean, not that I'm fucking Superman, like I've got X-ray vision, like I'm going to see them and immediately know. But like, I would just want to be able to see them myself, right? To have any kind of firm stance either way. All right, here we go. We're full screened here.
Varginha matters because
we got teased. Varginha. You know what I find interesting? When people pronounce things in their own unique way, when clearly nobody else says it that way. Example, David Grush. Example, Varginha. Nobody is saying it like that, okay? Just like a very select few people. And obviously you have, people might have different accents depending on where you come from, of course. But when people who have the same accent as you, people who talk like you, and you're the only one saying it your way, and you hear everyone else saying it the other way, and you just are like, nah, I'm saying it my way. That's when it's kind of like, bro, what is that? Are you just really stubborn? Just let it go, bro. It's not David Grush. It's not Varginha. Just conform. I'm a non-conformist, but in that case, I say conform. Just let it go, bro. Conform. Maybe he's pronouncing it the way the people who live there do. Yeah, I mean, that's a good argument, Kels, but I don't think so, because I don't think that's... What is that guy doing behind Megan? The guy behind Megan, like, pouring out from a flask? My guy's getting lit in this press conference. Kels, what you reminded me of is like when I've seen memes about this lately too, when people, well, like specifically white people, because we are just the biggest meme, overpronounce words that are like Italian or Spanish, but we'll just throw them in the middle of the sentence. Like we were saying, like, oh yeah, last night we went out for dinner, I got the rigatoni. And it's like, oh fuck, bro, really got into that one. Why did you feel the need to hit me with that? Like, just say rigatoni, it's fine. It really is fine. People go all in on that stuff. It's kind of cringe. All right, looks like we got someone else on the stage. Let's have a look.
I think this is going to be the big test today. Will something come up?
Close.
We're getting close. Don't stop. I'm close. N6, the Hungry Signal, says spending days straight watching. I made a track called Containers. I think you'll all dig it. It's tailored for us weirdos. Okay. We do have a music channel in the Discord. Feel free to drop it in there, brother. Susie Sunshine, shining some light for us. She says, anyone remember Stephen Greer's press conference? Sound and connections interfered with too. Really? Very interesting. Well, we've covered it on the channel, but I've only ever seen like the reruns of it, where I guess the audio is fine. So interesting to hear that before that happened, they were having difficulties. And Intrinsic, sorry, I missed this one earlier, said, did you watch The Law of Sun, the spiritual movie yet? No, I haven't, but I did get linked a really interesting movie. Actually, no. God, what was it called? Iron Sky. Has anyone heard about Iron Sky? I found out about this today. If anyone doesn't, I haven't seen it yet. I've only watched the trailers. There's two movies, and it's basically about like Nazis that live on the moon with dinosaurs that are trying to take over the world or something like that. Looks really good. Looks really good. So I think we'll watch that in Discord soon. That's my kind of movie. That's my kind of movie. Sounds amazing. I know, right? Josh, you watched the new Game of Thrones Duncan TV show? No, I haven't. There's a new Game of Thrones series? I had no idea. Iron Sky's hilarious, cult classic. Okay, I'm glad it's got the weirdo tick of approval, because from watching the trailers today, I was like, yeah, this is my jam. I need some of this, and I'm hearing all of you guys say it's great. I know I was right. I can't wait to watch it. Zapparoo, nice to see you. Says, great job, Josh. We're also getting hit by a large coronal mass ejection. Yes, we are. I actually showed some photos of it taken from some of our weirdos down in South Australia. Incredible looking sky. Beautifully purple. Absolutely incredible. Words that end in NHA in Portuguese is like the tilde over N in Spanish. Like, oh my God, bro, this is, oh my gosh. I can't be reading that, dude. Can't do it, Jeff. I tried, brother. I can't. It looks like they're filing into the stage now. Let's see what we've got. Okay, they're still figuring it out. It's okay. It's okay. You're supposed to start 20 minutes ago. It's fine. They're running on Bali time. The other day, I got my laundry done, right? Shock, I know. It's crazy. My annual shower and my monthly laundry. Got the laundry done, and they said, what time would you like us to deliver it? And I was like, at 10 a.m. would be good. And this is at like 8 a.m. I was like, 10 a.m.? And they were like, yeah, okay, sir. 10 a.m. rolls around, and I think I was waiting to do something, and I was like, look, don't wait for them. It's Bali. Just go and do whatever you need to do. Went out and did my shit, completely forgot about them. And then it was like 3 p.m. I think I was actually live streaming, and I had to get up from the stream because I had heard something knocking on the door, and I realized I had all these missed calls, and I had messages from them saying like, we've come at this time. And this is like 5 hours later. And they're just like, we've come at this time. I know we asked you and you said 10, but we came at this time. So here you go. That's just how it works here.
Host the event today, MC. I can tell you, as someone who's an introvert by nature, it normally takes me a few minutes to warm up into speaking. So bear with me. I think at the moment, if we're ready to go, we're ready. Where's James? We started without him. Oh, no, you're there. Okay. All right. So first of all, welcome. Thank you. We know, first of all, yes, let's do that. Let's wake up. Thank you. Some people came a very long way to be with us today. Some people got on flights early this morning. Some people drove for many hours in a car. So for everyone who didn't get enough sleep last night or is jet lagged, thank you for your sacrifices. We're very, very happy that you're here with us today. So my job right now is just like an airline flight attendant to tell you where the emergency exits are and how this is going to go. So the first thing is that we are going to read some written statements today. And I know cue collective eye roll, but we're just doing that to set the table. All right, so it'll take us about an hour to move through all of them. The good news is we all read pretty well, so it shouldn't be too torturous. And after the hour is over, you might run a little bit longer than that. We're going to take a 15-minute break, let everyone have a bio break or move around, move your body. Then we'll bring you back in for Q&A. The Q&A will go for an hour as long as it needs to. And then we can be here together until 5 o'clock. So we don't have to feel anxious about the amount of time that we have. We can be chill about it. And we want everybody to have a chance to come up ultimately and meet the presenters here. So know that you'll have plenty of time to do that. What else am I going to say? I think I just did it all.
QR codes.
The QR
Do you
codes. So
guys
that
want a
was, we
lolly?
weren't quite sure when to do that. Rumor had it QR codes were on the wall, but they're,
Yeah, they're posted on the walls.
all right. And so the
You guys want some
QR codes are
diabetes?
for the videos. Is that right?
Yes, to download the materials.
All right. So there, so she just said it. So we have QR codes on the wall if you want to download the videos later. All right. We good? Everybody else okay? Yes, we're ready for this? All right. James, you ready?
Ready.
Let's make it happen. Yes? All right. All right. So I'm Karin Austin. I'm the managing director at the John Mack Institute and the Center for the Impossible at Rice University. Together with founder Dr. Jeffrey Kreipel and Amanda Foke, head of special collections at the Woodson Research Center.
Atrazine treats? Yeah, my sweet little chemical bowl of chemicals.
The patterns of human experience related to the phenomenon. Today, though, I'm here in service to this with all my heart and love and support. It's a pleasure and an honor to be with you. So with that said, to not bury the lead, this conference addresses the existence of non-human biologics, defined as biological specimens or bodies of a technologically advanced non-human intelligence. The first-hand witnesses here with us today will describe their personal encounters with live, advanced non-human beings that were discovered in the immediate aftermath of a UFO crash outside Varginha, Brazil in 1996. What happened in Varginha is a part of a larger story, one that has accelerated dramatically here in the United States following the 2017 New York Times article that brought renewed attention to military encounters with unidentified aerial phenomenon, or UAP. Since then, Congress has held 4 open hearings on UAP, an unprecedented step, while the Department of Defense has released congressionally mandated reports from its UAP task force. Bipartisan legislation has established new oversight and reporting pathways, with additional measures still in development. Members of Congress are pressing for greater transparency and whistleblower protections, while highly credible intelligence and defense insiders, many testifying under oath, have reported on deeply classified programs tasked with the recovery of crashed UAP and the preservation of biologics held within ultra-secret legacy programs. In light of this momentum, the public's right to know becomes central. Evidence that we are not alone should not be classified. Confirmation of the existence of life beyond Earth, I think we all agree, belongs to every human being. And with that, I'd like to introduce Kirk to help us understand, Kirk McConnell, to help us understand what's been happening behind the scenes to bring this ecosystem of secrecy under congressional oversight.
Let's
We
go,
are honored
Kirk.
to welcome Kirk McConnell.
Let's go, Kirk. Blow the door off, Kirk. Give it to him.
Hi, I served for 37 years on the staff of the Senate Armed Services Committee, the Senate Intelligence Committee, and the House Intelligence Committee, retiring from government service almost 2 years ago. I was among the staff from the Senate Armed Services Committee and the Senate Intelligence Committee who collaboratively investigated the UAP issue on behalf of the senators from both parties on both committees after the seminal articles from the New York Times in 2017 that Karin mentioned and that I'm sure all of you are aware of. As extraordinary as the claims sound of the witnesses that you will be hearing from today about a crash retrieval and the recovery of non-human beings from Varginha in 1996, behind the scenes, similar reports have reached senators and staff conducting the investigation that I referred to. Many of you in attendance today or tuning in to this event are familiar with the public statements of now Secretary of State and National Security Advisor Marco Rubio, who has been very outspoken on this matter. As Vice Chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee, he clearly conveyed how seriously he takes these allegations. He and other senators held meetings and interviews in so-called sensitive compartmented intelligence facilities, SCIFs, over a period of years with very credible sources reporting both direct and secondhand knowledge of the reality of highly intelligent non-human beings. Government retrievals and reverse engineering of craft not made by human beings, and the recovery of bodies of non-human beings. These reports alleged hidden government activities like those you will hear about today, stretching across many decades. What these folks are going to tell you today in person and remotely are astounding, but they're not the only credible testimony about such events. Thank you.
He said remotely. So I wonder if the people who didn't get visas are just going to Zoom call in.
Be back later to provide some closing remarks for us. I should also make a note here. We're potentially expecting Representative Burleson. Is that true?
Yes, he said he's coming.
Okay, so there may be a moment where everything pauses and we hiccup and we bring Burleson on stage. So just bear with us if that happens, and hopefully it will. Anyway, thank you, Kirk. We look forward to hearing your closing remarks. Next, I'd like to introduce Dr. Jacques Vallée remotely. Unable to attend the event in person, he generously agreed to record a statement for us. Jacques is a renowned scientific investigator, a cultural icon in this field, and one of its most influential thinkers.
Good afternoon. My name is Jacques Vallée. I'm speaking at the request
From the heavens
of Mr. James Fox, because a few years ago I initiated the system of multiple databases used by a DIA-sponsored program at Bigelow Aerospace as a cleared member of a scientific team charged with the study of UFO, UAP phenomena.
Where is this ethereal French voice coming from?
Contained data about 260,000 screened reports of anomalous objects in flight and hundreds of reports of creatures.
Is he in the attic?
Or dead, associated with crashed or landed vehicles of unknown provenance, including some similar to those in Virginia, thus providing useful multinational and historical context. My current research
Holy shit, it's God.
is taking us to deeper levels with new on-site analytical and physical research on historical cases, such as the 1945 case in San Antonio, New Mexico, the 1964 case in Socorro, New Mexico, also, and the 1965 case in Valençol in France. In those and several others, new physical and environmental data was collected. The observations involve a total of 7 creatures, generally similar in size and general body shape to those described by the witnesses in Virginia, Brazil, and by Mr. Fox, providing both context and statistical support for current and future findings. In particular, all the creatures just mentioned breathed air normally. Beyond this, I currently serve in a private capacity on the Scientific Advisory Board of the French Government National Center for Space Studies, CNES. That unit has actively researched the UFO problem since 1975, including national cases of close encounters with the presence of occupants, a number of which I have also studied on site. It should be clear, however, that I do not represent any of these government organizations in this or any other context. The Varginha incident of 1996 in Brazil, researched and documented by James Fox, fits within cases already known in scientific and medical records, many of which have remained classified. Relaxing the classification requirements while preserving security of essential facilities such as the nuclear labs would make it possible to inform and enlist the scientific community at a higher level. Action by the executive branch to allow more open exchange would be world-changing. As the Varginha case proves, allowing more open contact at an international level would yield better understanding of the global issues. The current segmentation of the data hinders any serious research into what appears to be an extraterrestrial phenomenon empowered by advanced artificial intelligence. Open archives do exist to some extent, describing the physical and biological environment of the crafts and their occupants. Socorro and Valensol in particular, two unclassified cases officially deemed unidentified by multiple government agencies, have yielded evidence of traces, recovered materials, and environmental effects. But we know that much more is available. The Varginha case presents exceptional new knowledge beyond what was already known. It improves our information in two fundamental ways. First, in the ability to reconstruct what happened to the craft and its occupants from beginning to end. And second, in the professional description of the anatomical and behavioral features of the live creature recovered by authorities within a short time of the crash and to the point of its death. By this achievement, James' long and perilous project has opened up an entirely new field of research.
Thank you, Jacques. His perspective, of course, reminds us of the long arc of inquiry that has led us to this very moment. It's now my honor to introduce James Fox, the documentary filmmaker who spearheaded today's event. His work has consistently centered the human experience within some of the world's most provocative UAP cases. James, at 28 years old, completed and sold his first documentary on the UFO subject to Discovery Communications. Over the years, through films like Out of the Blue, I Know What I Saw, The Phenomenon, The Program, and Moment of Contact, he has consistently centered the human experience with some of the world's most provocative cases. James' most recent work, Moment of Contact, New Revelations, returns to the 1996 Varginha, Brazil event, often described as one of the most compelling crash retrieval cases involving multiple live non-human beings of advanced intelligence. For over 2 decades, he and his team have chased down the facts and witnesses to the incident. He has been deeply committed to documenting their accounts with respect and to preserve their voices for future generations. Ladies and gentlemen, James Fox.
Let's go, James. Get him, James.
Thank you, Karin. And welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. And there was a colossal undertaking to get these gentlemen from Brazil here. If I say I had to walk on water and move mountains, that would be a huge understatement. So thank you, everyone, for being here and for all your efforts. Just informed that Congressman Burleson has just arrived. I don't know how long he's going to stay with us, but I'm hoping there he is. Welcome, Congressman. Thank you so much. Yeah. We also have a sitting member of the Senate, Senator Gerald from Brazil, who's standing here. Can you stand up, please? Yep, he's here. Yeah. So we will be introducing Congressman Burleson. Would you like to give a quick statement now, or would you like to wait till a little bit later? Come on up, please. I'll finish mine afterwards. Excellent. Thank you so much, Congressman.
Extraordinary.
So my work is taking me around the world investigating some extraordinary allegations of UFO encounters, now referred to as UAP, unidentified anomalous phenomena. But what brings us here together today is what I consider, and many others, the most compelling case in modern history. In January 1996, in Varginha, Brazil, numerous witnesses reported a cigar-shaped object in distress, which ultimately crashed in a field, Maiolini Farm, just outside the city of Varginha, Brazil. Several days later, on January 20th, 3 girls outside the city, ages 14, 16, and 21, came within a few steps of an otherworldly creature cowering in broad daylight against a wall in a vacant lot. Over time, it was revealed that the Brazilian Fire Department and military police captured 2 non-human beings on that same day. According to multiple Brazilian government officials, the crash debris and non-human beings, likely one still living, were flown out of Brazil within days by U.S. Air Force and presumably remain in the possession of a secret U.S. government classified research program. More and more witnesses are coming forward because courage is infectious and there's strength in numbers. This investigation is far from over. We are encouraging a coalition between officials from the U.S. and Brazil to acquire additional records, including potential video and photographic evidence of this case. I believe in this case because this could settle the debate once and for all that we're not alone. I'm very grateful to our Brazilian witnesses taking the time to come all this way to be here with us today. As I said earlier, we had to move mountains and walk on water. The Brazilian statements will be translated by Aline Class, who's right here across, and who co-produced a new cut of Moment of Contact and was instrumental in making this conference happen. Thank you, Aline. I'm going to mention Carlos de Souza, who's here as well, was initial crash witness. We took years to track him down. Yeah. He gave one brief statement in 1996 to a researcher named Claudio Covo, and then he vanished for the better part of 26 years. And I remember we were going to include a segment in the phenomenon, a film I did. And at the end of the day, we were like, we got to find more witnesses we scrapped the whole idea and ended up making a movie. But we found him, and a year or two later, we got him to come forward and share his story. It's one of the earliest civilian witnesses to the events surrounding the Varginha crash. He's a former businessman, a longtime geography teacher, and an experienced ultralight pilot. Carlos made one public statement, as I said earlier, and then he vanished. So we're very grateful to have Carlos here with us today. Carlos, please.
Check, 1, 2, check.
Bom dia, senhoras e senhores. É grande prazer estar falando hoje com vocês.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure to speak with you today.
Me perdoe pouco o nervosismo que filme passa na minha cabeça nesse instante da minha vida inteira.
Forgive me, I'm a bit nervous. This movie of the scene just plays in my head all the time.
Eu testemunhei a queda de uma nave não terrestre no ano de 1996, no dia 13 de janeiro.
I witnessed the crash of a non-terrestrial craft on January 13th, 1996.
Eu viajava de São Paulo para a cidade de Três Corações. E durante esse percurso, eu parei rapidamente no acostamento e, nesse momento, pela rodovia Fernão Dias, no caso, E
Imagine if the interpreter's just making up her own
eu
shit.
iria a encontro de pilotos de ultraleve, que eu era recém-formado como piloto, então eu iria encontrar os amigos.
I was en route from São Paulo to the city of Três Corações via Fernão Dias Highway in Minas Gerais for an ultralight pilots gathering.
Ao fazer uma breve parada, eu avistei um objeto que para mim naquele momento está em formato de charuto, não era nada terrestre, era simplesmente um dirigível, pois na época...
Lê o texto, Carlos.
Oh, ok, sorry. Em formato de charuto, tá? E eu observei que ele estava em apuros.
When I made a brief stop near Varginha, I looked skyward. I spotted a cigar-shaped object which seemed distressed. Initially, I assumed it was a blimp, common at the time over soccer fields for broadcasts. It released white smoke while losing altitude.
Inicialmente, como eu já havia falado, eu pensei que fosse um dirigível. Tá? Na época era muito comum sobre os campos de futebol no Brasil, para fazer as transmissões das partidas. Só que ele saía dele uma fumaça muito branca. E ao ele fazer uma pequena curva, eu observei que na sua lateral ele tinha um rasgo da metade para trás. E ele estava rapidamente perdendo altitude.
It released white smoke while losing altitude. It made a slight turn that revealed a lateral tear from the middle to the back. It was clearly having problems.
Logo pensei, como piloto, que os ocupantes estariam em graves problemas, porque só quem é piloto sabe o desespero que dá você estar numa nave com problemas ou numa aeronave com problemas. Entrei no meu veículo rapidamente e comecei a acompanhá-lo através do para-brisa até o seu local da sua queda. Na esperança, na verdade, de ajudar quem estava lá dentro.
Only a pilot would know the difficulty of seeing a craft in trouble. So he quickly realized that the occupants could be in deep trouble. I got in my car and followed its trajectory towards the crash site, hoping to be able to help.
Ao chegar no local da queda, eu estranhei de início, porque o esperado era um cheiro de combustível, ou querosene, mas havia um cheiro de amônia e ovo podre, muito diferente, que ardia muito meus olhos, queimava os meus olhos. Então eu subi a camisa para poder respirar, que eu não conseguia. Metade da nave desse objeto, tá, que no caso para mim ainda era um dirigível, estava encostado numa árvore, e a outra metade traseira eram vários destroços.
When I got there, I smelled a foul odor, like ammonia with rotten eggs, burning my eyes. Half the craft remained intact by a tree, and the debris of the back part was scattered everywhere.
Nesse momento, rapidamente,
Those stinking aliens
chegou
again.
vários veículos militares.
Multiple army vehicles arrived promptly.
Nesse momento, eu estava no meio dos destroços, onde houve que negócio. E esses fragmentos, tá, eu levei baixei e peguei na minha mão. E eu observei que ele era muito leve, não tinha peso nenhum. Parecia um papel alumínio, aquelas folhas de papel alumínio bem fininhas. E amassei ele. Ao soltá-lo, o que eu tomei um susto gigantesco, ele voltou ao formato normal. Meu Deus, o que é isso?
At that point, I was in the middle of the wreckage, and I picked up a lightweight fragment resembling aluminum foil. I crumpled it in my hand, but when I let go, it instantly resumed its shape.
Nesse exato momento, um soldado do exército, da ESA, para ser mais preciso, no Brasil, veio em minha direção com um rifle, tá? E começou a gritar, vai embora, vai embora. E no que ele deu impacto, tirou de mim esse fragmento, ok? E eu respondi para ele, não, eu não vou. Tem gente caída lá, machucada, que para mim até aquele momento não fazia sentido o cenário. Para mim era, ele vai embora, vai embora. Eu falei, não, não vou. Ele deu um passo para trás, levantou a arma, engatilhou, apontou para minha cabeça. Eu não estou pedindo, eu estou mandando, eu vou abrir a tua cabeça no meio se você não for embora.
A soldier
wow.
approached fast and hit me
He's
in
got
the
a work
chest
cut
with
out.
his rifle, so I was forced to drop the metal I was holding. He shouted, "Leave now." I replied, "No, people in there need help." He aimed his gun at my head and said, "I am not requesting, it is an order. Leave now or I'll split your skull."
Virei-me imediatamente, tremendo, morrendo de medo, sem entender nada. E estava muito assustado mesmo com tudo aquilo.
I turned and departed immediately. I was very scared and confused.
Saí do local imediatamente, que não tinha o que fazer, estava com medo, né, não entendia nada, e caminhei até um posto de gasolina, porque eu falei, vou tomar um café e me acalmar. Todo aquele negócio era demais para minha cabeça. Sorry. Desculpem-me. E para me recompor, fui ao posto tomar um café para me recompor. Em poucos minutos, uns 4 minutos, 5 minutos no máximo, chegou um carro escuro, um Opala, um carro da época, azul escuro,
Here for the man in the fedora. I want to find out who it is.
com 2 homens bem vestidos, elegantes, ternos pretos, camisa branca, óculos escuros, desceram e vieram ao meu encontro. Ok.
I left the area and stopped at the first gas station to compose myself. A few minutes later, a very dark blue, near black vehicle pulled up. 2 suited men got out and approached me.
Ok.
I feel like he said a lot more than that. I feel like she dropped half of it.
Pelo meu nome. Falou o nome da minha esposa, o nome do negócio, para mim, apontando o dedo para mim, e perguntou, eu perguntei para ele, falando se eu era o Carlos Souza, se eu era isso, e apontando ele para mim. E eu perguntei para ele, quem é você? Não te conheço. Ele respondeu frio e simplesmente, você não viu nada, você não sabe de nada, ou você terá sérios problemas o resto da sua vida.
One of these men approached him and called him by name, stating his address, naming wife and business, and he asked, "Who are you?" And this man threatened, "You saw nothing, you know nothing, or you will have problems for the rest of your life."
He's doing a pretty good job at translating, to be fair. And that detail is crazy. The fact that they knew his name and his family immediately as he was there at the crash.
Só que ao chegar na porta do estabelecimento que eu estava tomando café, quem falou que o carro tinha placa? Não havia placa no veículo. Eles simplesmente partiram.
They departed swiftly. I grabbed a napkin to write down the license plate, but there wasn't one.
Imploro a todos os
No
presentes
license
aqui,
plate?
após 30 anos, ridicularizado, julgado pela sociedade. Não nos abandone. Novamente. Permitam que a verdade venha à tona. Tenham coragem de falar a verdade para nós. Eu não sou louco. Ninguém é louco aqui. Tenho família com qualquer um. Por favor, falem a verdade aquele que sabe, as autoridades. Só peço isso. Obrigado.
I implore the authorities and people present, after 30 years of ridicule and societal judgment, do not abandon us again. Allow the truth to emerge. Summon the courage to disclose it. Thank you very much.
Obrigado.
That's a very, very powerful speech. It's quite profound to hear someone speaking so directly about a first-hand evidence like that.
Obviously, when someone starts crying like that, it feels way more visceral and real. And I think that's like because it is, right? Because it is. And hang on, sorry, James is speaking.
Of 26 years. He's never asked for a dime. He's not trying to sell anything. Like, wow. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you, Carlos. We have colossal effort to get 6 additional firsthand witnesses here. In fact, we hired an immigration lawyer. We reached out to Congressman Burleson's office. He was very happy to help implement getting their visas approved. He was working diligently, his office. He put it on one of his best people. And unfortunately, 6 visas were denied. So we rushed back just a couple of weeks ago. Alini and myself, covert mission, went back to Brazil with the help of the local government and got access to an official building with a podium and flags. And we recorded statements from all those that had their visas denied. So that's the story behind why we're presenting it. They wanted to be here in person. They tried everything to be here in person. We worked on it for the better part of 9 months. And again, I'll remind you, the QR code allows you to download free of access, use it anywhere you want, right there by the doors. There's another one by those doors. It'll give you full access to all the videos you're about to see. And I ask you to please spread them far and wide. They're all yours. They're everybody's. So we're going to, without further ado, we're going to show you.
Dude, you gotta love James Fox. Honestly, this guy does it for the love of it. He wants the enthusiasm, and this guy just wants truth, man.
Eu juro que o que eu vou dizer é simplesmente a verdade e nada mais do que a verdade. Meu nome é Fábio Furtado e em janeiro de 1996, eu e meu amigo que estávamos na fazenda que trabalhávamos em Três Corações, vimos um objeto voador não identificado. Um objeto que não era normal para a época, uma coisa que a gente nunca tinha visto. Ele fez movimentos sem nenhum tipo de curva, subiu e desceu, fez um Z no ar e desceu atrás do morro, na frente da nossa fazenda que nós morávamos e trabalhávamos em 96. O objeto ele era cilíndrico, era do tamanho mais ou menos do micro-ônibus, e o movimento que ele fez no ar, eu nunca vi se repetir isso, nem nos dias atuais, nas aeronaves mais tecnológicas que nós temos hoje. Aquele objeto fez um pouso, e no dia seguinte, eu fui lá para conferir, e vi um amarelado no chão. Ali eu tive aquela certeza, percepção, que aquele objeto não era desse mundo.
Eu juro que eu vou dizer aqui agora é a verdade, somente a verdade. Meu nome é Liliane Silva, tenho 46 anos, sou professora na educação infantil. No sábado 20 de janeiro de 1996, a mais ou menos às 3h20, eu, Valquíria e a Kátia, ao cortar caminho, vindo do trabalho, observei no muro uma pichação, onde embaixo dessa pichação de uma trave de futebol, eu avistei uma criatura. Estatura baixa, com os olhos vermelhos, a pele marrom, como se tivesse passado um óleo, umas veias que saíam do pescoço até o braço, né? E quando que eu avistei ali, eu tive uma sensação, assim, terrível, como se o mundo tivesse parado. Foram minutos, mais minutos, assim, que passou um filme na minha vida. Na hora que eu gritei para avisar as meninas, olha ali, a criatura olhou para mim, eu olhei nos olhos dela, me passou uma sensação que ela estivesse sofrendo, que ela estivesse pedindo ajuda, se escondendo de alguém ali. E assim, aqueles minutinhos que eu fixei nos olhos dela, eu entrei em pânico, não sabia o que eu fazia, só falei assim, gente, vamos correr, e comecei a correr na frente delas, né, em sentido da minha casa. As meninas olharam para ela e teve a mesma impressão, cada um viu alguma coisa, mas assim, apavorada, saímos correndo no sentido da minha casa.
Juro dizer a verdade, nada além da verdade. Sou Kátia Xavier, uma das 3 testemunhas do caso Varginha. Eu estive a 2 metros de uma criatura. Foi dia 20 de janeiro de 1996. Eu, Liliane e Valquíria estávamos juntos, passando nesse terreno, e tivemos cara a cara praticamente com uma coisa muito estranha, um extraterrestre. E assim, ele me passou muito medo. Ele era marrom, dos olhos vermelhos, com a pele oleosa.
Yes, the sisters and six people in total were not allowed visas.
E aquilo mudou muito a minha vida, transformou a minha vida. E me passava que estava sofrendo naquele lugar, que era que pedia ajuda para mim. Eu não conseguia me mexer, olhando para ele e tentando pegar alguma coisa a mais. Então, eu já ia para a direção dele, tipo assim, eu vou ajudar ele, né? Não pensei assim em consequência. Eu vou ajudar essa criatura, essa pessoa. Quando eu fui para tomar essa atitude, a Liliane voltou, pegou no meu braço e me puxou. Foi aonde eu me desliguei completamente. Mas aí já não era mais aquela Kátia. Era totalmente diferente. Por quê? Porque, assim, me transformou. Me deixou, assim, com sequelas de que, poxa, por que eu não fiz algo? Poxa, por que pegaram ele? Por eu ter falado, pegaram ele, fizeram o que fizeram com ele. Então, isso ficou marcado em mim. Porque eu sinto essa criatura junto comigo a todo momento, aonde eu vou. Então, sempre vou dizer a minha verdade. Em janeiro faz 30 anos a história. E eu nunca mudei nenhuma sílaba e nunca vou mudar. Porque essa é a minha verdade.
That was powerful. That was a really good one.
Eu juro que o que eu vou contar agora é verdade, nada mais que a verdade. Eu me chamo Valquíria, sou uma das testemunhas do dia 20 de janeiro de 1996, onde estava eu, a minha irmã Liliane e a nossa amiga Kátia, quando estávamos indo embora do trabalho e avistamos uma criatura. Uma criatura diferente, que nós não sabemos o que era, mas era assustadora. Quando eu olhei para os olhos dela, eu senti que ela estava com muito medo. Da mesma forma que a gente ficou assustada, ela também ficou apavorada. Foi o que ela passou no olhar para a gente. E marrom, de olhos vermelhos, tinha brilho no corpo, como se tivesse passado óleo. E aquele dia marcou a nossa vida para sempre.
Eu juro falar a verdade, nada mais do que a verdade. Meu nome é Luísa Helena da Silva, sou mãe das 2 meninas que viu o ser. Depois de meia hora que eu fui até no local, a Kátia chorando muito, eu cheguei até lá, vi a pegada. Tinha grama e a pegada dos dedos dele. Assim, só 3 dedos, muito comprido, assim. E só a única coisa que eu consegui já tinha sumido dali. É o cheiro daquele lugar que ficou muito e muito tempo, uns 20, 25 dias no máximo, se eu não me esqueço, no meu nariz. Então, depois do acontecido, que as meninas viram esse ser lá, eu recebi na minha casa 4 homens que eu nunca tinha visto na minha vida. Era 4 homens vestidos de preto, e eles foi só entrando e foi fazendo uma proposta para mim. Se eu aceitasse aquele dinheiro, abriu a mala na minha frente, disse que a gente ia ficar milionário para o resto da vida. É um dinheiro esquisito, eu nunca tinha visto na minha vida. Era uma maleta assim, nessa altura, e Inês abri, que abriu, os outros só olhavam. Que eu tenho a impressão que eles não falavam a nossa língua. Só um que falava. E falou que era muito dinheiro, que a gente ia ficar rica, que eu tinha que ir embora daqui. Mas eles queriam que eu ia se eu aceitasse, que era para mim ir numa emissora, numa TV, reunir as meninas, e mentiram. Que, por exemplo, um exemplo que ele deu, que as meninas viam um bezerro, um cachorro doente, um ser humano doente. Eu fiquei muito assustada com isso, achei que isso não era digno. E aí pedi para eles ir embora dali. Fiquei com muito medo deles, sim. Então, eu acho que eu não poderia mentir uma coisa desse jeito se eu não cheguei a ver. Agora, mentir que as meninas não viram nada, isso aí também já é demais.
Wow, what a hero. What a hero. She didn't even see it, but she stood by what her daughter said despite intimidation tactics. And just imagine if she had have gone on TV and said that, that would have just put this whole case in the dirt. People just wouldn't have bought into it after that. Not like they do now.
Em janeiro de 1996, no dia 20, eu estava trabalhando e logo que saí, fiquei sabendo do avistamento na cidade. Eu fui averiguar esse avistamento, fui impedido pelos soldados da ESA, né, que não deixaram que eu subisse até o local, porque por ser da cidade, eu sei onde as coisas acontecem. Eu queria ver. Parei o carro, desci, queria ir a pé, disseram que eu não poderia passar. Eu questionei por quê, assunto de segurança nacional. Oh, mas e a minha liberdade de ir e vir? Vocês têm que ficar. Pois bem, isso aconteceu. Depois, no domingo, tiveram pessoas que fizeram avistamento. Eu estive no hospital regional, porque fiquei sabendo que lá havia uma movimentação. Vi os médicos em polvorosa, mas não soube o quê. E o mais importante que eu esqueci de dizer, naquele momento em que eu estava próximo ao local dos fatos, eu ouvia barulho de gente na mata, como se estivesse correndo, e duas frases me marcaram. Cerca, cerca. O outro respondia, é liso, é liso. Essas coisas ficaram na minha mente por um bom tempo. Mandei 2 jornalistas para uma entrevista coletiva que teria na ESA para eles tentarem colocar panos quentes, dizer que, não, era apenas um exercício militar, era caminhão que estava arrumando, e eu instruí os meus repórteres, pergunta exatamente sobre isso, sobre o que aconteceu, mas seja incisivo. A resposta que eles tiveram foi, se vocês insistirem nesse assunto, vocês vão ser presos. Então, quer dizer, para mim, havia um processo de acobertamento e que, aliás, perdura até hoje, por enquanto. Que muita gente, como eu, tem relatos iguais a esse, mas que ainda hoje tem medo de dar a cara a tapa e de falar o que aconteceu.
Eu juro que eu vou dizer a verdade, a pura verdade. Sou militar do Exército da época de 1996, onde ocorreu um fato ET de Varginha. Participei no transporte e também na visualização do ser extraterrestre, onde eu fiz o transporte, mas primeiramente, antes de transportar esse ser, eu entrei na porta, na segunda porta do hospital, onde avistei um ser, e posteriormente veio relatos de que era simplesmente um extraterrestre. Com isso, eu fiz o transporte dele de Varginha para Três Corações, de Três Corações para Campinas, onde deixei a viatura e outros militares assumiram. E, posteriormente, retornando para Três Corações, houve o relato que os americanos teriam já a posse desse ser, transportando ele para um local ignorado, um local que eu não sei.
Wow, this is compelling stuff.
Para a verdade, somente a verdade. Meu nome é Marta, sou irmã do militar Marco Elixerez, que em 96 veio a óbito e participou da captura do ET. Meu irmão tinha 23 anos na época, era militar da P2, falo com convicção que muitas das pessoas levam o caso para ser fantástico e não é. É um caso muito sério. Realmente, meu irmão participou da captura do ET e veio a óbito. A causa indefinida, até hoje indefinida. Mas a gente vai esclarecer isso, custe o que custar. Passe o tempo que passar, nada fica encoberto. Mas eu gostaria que as pessoas que soubessem um pouco mais, que viessem e se pronunciassem, mas desde que dizendo a verdade. Eu perdi uma parte na qual não vou ser restaurada nunca mais. Eu queria que o governo, as autoridades falassem o que realmente aconteceu no dia, o porquê que se escondem, né? Eu sei que pode existir pessoas que não vão entender, mas eu acredito que muitas das pessoas, a maioria, irá entender esse caso sim. Estou aqui esperando uma resposta da sociedade, da população, quem sabe de algum militar que queira falar. Hoje eu aguardo. E vamos torcer para que as pessoas que venham até nós venham com contundência, venham com firmeza, com declaração explícita. Simplesmente, se por mais dura que seja a verdade, que ela seja dita.
Why hide it? Why hide it?
It's interesting that, like, out of all the visas that didn't get accepted, it's the people like, you know, the people that, like, the 3 girls that saw the being, the mum. I mean, to be fair, the guy who saw the crash is there, but, you know, a lot of the key people didn't get accepted.
To the best of their ability from their heart. As I regain my composure here, our next Brazilian witness brings an essential perspective to one of the most difficult and still unresolved aspects of the Varginha case, the sudden and tragic death of a healthy 23-year-old military police officer, Marco Xerez, who, with the help of fellow officer Eric Lopes, captured one of the live beings with his bare hands. Within weeks, he developed a severe bacterial infection that would ultimately prove fatal. Dr. Armando, the forensic specialist who conducted Xerez's autopsy, is a highly respected physician with a law degree who works primarily in forensic medicine. Over more than 3 decades with the Minas Gerais Civil Police, he served as a forensic pathologist, criminal medical examiner, and critical medical examiner. I'm seeing in some of my notes here that I finished at 3 a.m. The obvious results that I was finishing at 3 a.m. He also served as the president of the Medical Association and Municipal Secretary of Health in Varginha. He is here with us today to discuss his knowledge of the case. Dr. Armando.
Bom dia. Declaro que estou dizendo a verdade e que não tenho nenhum conflito de interesses pessoais ou de outra natureza.
Good day. I hereby state that I am telling the truth and that I have no conflict of interest, personal or otherwise.
Fui designado para realizar autópsia no corpo do soldado de 23 anos, Marco Eli Xerez, cuja morte inesperada levou o comandante da Polícia Militar de Minas Gerais a solicitar uma investigação por suspeita de erro profissional.
I was assigned to perform the autopsy on the body of the 23-year-old soldier, Marco Eli Xerez, whose unexpected death led the commander of the military police of the state of Minas Gerais to request an investigation on suspicion of professional error.
Causou estranheza que um jovem soldado saudável ter morrido em decorrência de um abscesso na região axilar esquerda.
It was considered unusual that a young, healthy soldier would die as a result of what appeared to be a simple abscess in the underarm area.
Realizei a autópsia e encaminhei fragmentos de órgãos e amostras de sangue ao meu colega, o renomado médico patologista, Dr. João Batista Macuco Janini, para avaliações laboratoriais e maiores esclarecimentos.
I sent organ fragments and blood samples to my colleague, the renowned pathologist, Dr. João Batista Janini, for laboratory assessment and further clarification.
Foi observada uma cicatriz recente na região axilar esquerda, decorrente de uma drenagem cirúrgica de uma lesão infecciosa.
A recent scar was observed in the left underarm region as a result from a surgical drainage of an infectious lesion.
O paciente faleceu poucos dias depois, apesar de ter sido avaliado e tratado por outros médicos, com doses elevadas de anti-inflamatórios e de antibióticos.
The patient died a few days later, despite having been evaluated and treated by other physicians with high doses of anti-inflammatory medications and antibiotics.
Como tratava-se de uma bactéria altamente virulenta e multiresistente, a infecção evoluiu rapidamente, espalhando-se pelo corpo, resultando em choque séptico e na morte do jovem soldado.
As the infection was caused by a highly virulent and multi-drug resistant bacterium, it progressed rapidly, spreading throughout the body and resulting in septic shock, eventually leading to the death of the young soldier.
Infelizmente, o médico patologista Dr. Janini não pôde participar desse nosso evento pela idade avançada, mas fez questão de elaborar uma declaração por escrito, que foi traduzida para o inglês para ser apresentada a todos vocês, hoje, nesta data tão importante, nesta conferência.
Unfortunately, the pathologist, Dr. Giannini, was unable to attend our event due to his advanced age, but he prepared a written statement that was carefully translated to present to you today.
Quem vai fazer a leitura?
We'll invite Mateus over to the stage to read the statement for you guys.
Most honorable ladies and gentlemen, distinguished authorities, scientists, and representatives of the institutions gathered here. My name is João Giannini. I am a professor and doctor with specialization in anatomic pathology.
Is this the white Morpheus?
Years, during which I performed more than 50,000 autopsies, conducted over 1 million microscopic analyses, and served as a preceptor to more than 200 postgraduate students. I carried out academic activities at 3 higher education institutions: Fluminense Federal University, the Federal University of Rio de Janeiro, and the University of Brasilia, where I held the position of associate professor. In the southern region of Minas Gerais, I founded the Institute for Prevention and Diagnosis, IPD, where I developed and implemented programs focused on cancer prevention. The access granted to me was limited exclusively to tissue fragments collected during the autopsy of the body of soldier Marco Eli Scerezi. Subsequently, I received circumstantial reports presented by gentlemen ufologists who requested a review of the previously mentioned material. Based on these reports, I prepared my conclusions focusing exclusively on the identification and analysis of the bacterium responsible for the infection that affected the soldier. This bacterium proved to be a microbial agent of extremely high aggressiveness and lethality. Given its characteristics, I understand that it goes beyond the limits of a conventional infection, possibly presenting itself as a highly specialized mechanism of aggression and defense, which raises the hypothesis of its alien origin. We are currently awaiting the necessary legal procedures for the exhumation of the body, with the expectation that advanced studies in molecular biology may provide new evidence regarding its mechanisms of aggressiveness, corroborating the hypothesis that it is an organism of extraterrestrial origin. If confirmed, such a finding would represent unequivocal proof of the existence of extraterrestrial life, implying a profound global reformulation of our philosophical understanding of existence. January the 8th, 2026, Varginha, Dr. J. Giannini.
Unequivocal proof of the existence of ET life. Doesn't get better than that.
Why does he sound so evil? Johnny, I think he's just French.
We have the distinct honor of, as I've announced earlier, Senator João, who's here, and we thought we would offer him a quick opportunity to say something if you'd like, take a few-minute break, and then we're going to present Dr. Italo, who allegedly had face-to-face contact with the creature, some level of communication for 3 to 4 minutes after we take a short little break. So, Senator, if you'd like to come up and say a little brief word, we're happy to have you here. Thank you so much.
Good morning. My English is not so good, so I would like to, Aline will help me. É uma honra ter recebido o convite seu, James Fox, para estarmos aqui hoje.
It's a great honor to have received the invitation from James Fox to be here today.
Eu não vim em nome do Senado do Brasil.
I did not come representing the Brazilian Senate.
Desde pequeno, eu tenho curiosidade nesse assunto.
Since I was little, I've been curious about this subject.
Então, eu fiz questão de vir aqui pagando do meu bolso,
So I made sure to come here on my own account.
trazendo amigos como o Coronel Gerson Gomes,
Bringing friends such as the Colonel Gerson Gomes.
que é jornalista.
This guy's having very courteous breaks to allow the translator.
That's a very respected and independent journalist in Brazil.
Para compartilhar com vocês esse momento histórico.
To share with you here this historical moment.
Eu sou do Ceará,
I'm from Ceará, a state in
estado
Brazil,
no nordeste do Brasil.
in the north of Brazil.
E lá nós tivemos uma brilhante escritora chamada Raquel de Queiroz.
We have a brilliant writer there called Raquel de Queiroz.
Ela escrevia mensalmente na revista mais importante do Brasil.
She wrote monthly to the most important magazine in Brazil.
E quebrou paradigma escrevendo artigo sobre avistamento em Quixadá, que fica no meu estado.
And she broke the paradigm by writing about this UFO case in Quixadá,
Com 20 testemunhas confirmando.
with 20 witnesses confirming it.
Nós tivemos outro caso no Brasil que é muito emblemático também,
There is another puzzling case in Brazil also
que é a Operação Prato,
that's called Operação Prato, Operation Plate,
que a Força Aérea Brasileira
that the Brazilian Air Force
identificou em vários estados do Brasil,
identified in several states over Brazil
na mesma noite,
on the same evening,
vários objetos voadores não identificados.
many UFO or UAPs.
Mas o caso mais simbólico e que mais repercute no mundo
But the most symbolic case and the one of most repercussion in the world
é o caso de Varginha.
is the Varginha case.
Tem um grande humanista brasileiro de Minas Gerais também,
There is a great Brazilian humanist also from the state of Minas Gerais.
pacifista considerado pelo povo brasileiro como o mineiro do século, que nasceu em Minas Gerais.
A pacifist considered by Brazilians, considerado o quê?
É considerado como o brasileiro de todos os tempos, um grande brasileiro de todos os tempos.
Like the great Brazilian of all times, this pacifist.
Chico Xavier.
Chico Xavier.
Ele fez um documentário, James, que foi feito em relação à sua fala da data limite de Chico Xavier.
He made a documentary talking about the limit date of Chico Xavier.
Não ele que fez, fizeram um documentário que está aberto, gratuito.
They made a documentary about him.
E ele diz que com 50 anos após o homem chegar na Lua,
And he said that 50 years after man has reached the moon,
se nós não tivéssemos a Terceira Guerra Mundial,
if we didn't have the Third World War,
o mundo iria conhecer em pouco tempo
the world would shortly come to know
contato mais próximo com seres de outros planetas.
a closer contact with beings from other planets.
E eu quero parabenizar Jamie pela sua coragem.
He wants to congratulate James for his courage.
Eu quero parabenizar também 2 convidados que foram ao Senado do Brasil.
He wants to also congratulate 2 guests that came to the Brazilian Senate.
Que nós fizemos 3 anos atrás um evento mundial no Senado do Brasil sobre os 75 anos de ufologia.
They did a 70-year ufology celebration event.
O detetive aposentado da Polícia Federal, da Polícia Inglesa, Gary Heseltine.
Retired detective of the English police.
E Robert Lambert Salas, comandante da reserva do Exército Americano e pesquisador de ufologia.
Commander of the U.S. Army and UFO researcher.
Foi um evento com uma presença de pesquisadores, ufólogos.
It was a great event with researchers
do Brasil.
In Brazil.
E para encerrar,
and to finish,
esses brasileiros aqui que estão comigo têm muita coragem.
These Brazilians up here with me are very courageous.
Não é fácil tratar desse assunto no Brasil, que existe o julgamento e é entendido por muitas pessoas como chacota.
It's not easy to deal with the subject matter in Brazil. There's a lot of ridicule and a lot of fun poked at these people.
E nós vivemos um momento hoje gravíssimo político no Brasil.
And we are in a dire political moment in Brazil also.
De caçada à liberdade de expressão.
Where they're hunting down freedom of expression.
Com presos políticos, mais de 1.000 presos políticos.
With more than 1,000 political prisoners.
E falar desse assunto hoje também precisa ter muita coragem.
And to speak about this today also requires a lot of courage.
Eu faço um apelo às autoridades americanas que porventura estejam aqui.
He makes an appeal to the American authorities that may be here today.
Que possam ter alguns elementos desse caso de Varginha, possam ter trazido aos Estados Unidos.
That they can bring some of the elements of the Varginha case to the United States.
Que possam compartilhar conosco. Eu estarei à disposição.
That they may share that with us, that he will be available.
E cobrarei transparência também do governo brasileiro.
And he will also require transparency from the Brazilian government.
Para que a verdade triunfe.
So that the truth may triumph.
Muito obrigado a todos.
Thank you very much.
James Fox has done a formidably good job in putting these witnesses together. This is extraordinary evidence. As the pathologist who read the statement conveyed, this is the opportunity for absolutely carte blanche evidence.
All right. This has gone on a little longer than we thought, but that happens. And so I can feel the tension in the room. People need to squiggle and move around for a few minutes. So why don't we actually take the 15-minute break now?
Couple minute break.
10, 10, negotiate. Women need a few minutes. So I just wanted to say, yeah, we have 3 speakers left, right? We have Dr. Italo and Colonel Clausen and what's your name, Kirk? And then I don't know, Representative Burleson, I'm concerned about your timing. Do you need to leave soon? Should we? You're okay. All right, fantastic. All right, 10 minutes.
Couple-minute break.
We'll see you here.
My man Kirk just got pied in front of the live audience. Who are you again? Kirk McConnell, lady. Who are you? Who is this lady? Far out. Well, I mean, I can basically speak Portuguese now, so there's that. No ground-shattering evidence just yet. Although, I think like a lot of people in the chat are saying, where's the, where they're going to bring out a new video, they're going to bring out a new this or that. I think we, as much as I would like that, like temper our expectations, because I don't think James Fox ever even alluded to something like that happening. I think this is literally just the witnesses putting their testimony out there in more of sort of like a professional public setting. Although you would think that perhaps like maybe we'd be getting something a little bit more than we're getting from the movie. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's not finished yet. We actually might, but I feel it. I feel it. Krista says, yeah, he did. What you're saying, he did say that he was going to bring something new. What did he say? I didn't see that. All right, let's catch up here. Kelly Hall says, if anyone wants to meet up at It's Probably Nothing in Montreal on February the 20th, send me a message in Discord. There we go. That's probably a good chance to plug the Discord. The link is below. It's free for everyone. Great place to hang out and have weird conversations with weird people. And the member section is a lot of fun as well. Zapparoo says, if this doesn't end with James Fox showing the original video recording of the alien he's been looking for, the same talking with nothing new. Corrupt NPC gifted a membership. Thank you very much, sir. Dave Bryson says, can we talk about the room that they are making those statements from? Why are the walls covered in shit and the windows colored with crayons? If it's a green screen, who the fuck chose it? I did notice that. But the reality is it's probably just the nicest corner in some random building. And they just threw a couple of flags up in there, put that little podium thing, and set up the camera. It's probably nowhere. If we got to like zoom out, it's probably like someone's lounge room or something. So I bet literally that is the answer. Aaron Clark gifted a membership. Thank you very much, Aaron. And Kelly Hall says, no one still has not verbalized the name of the strain. Are you talking about, what would you be talking about? Are you talking about like the bacteria that got that guy really sick? I'm not sure. That's the downside of leaving super chats for too long. You completely lose what they're talking about. The bacteria they found, the bacteria. Okay, yep, that I was correct. Do they know what it is? Like, do they know what it is and they're not saying it? Or you think they don't actually know? Wrath says the strain was mentioned in the movie. I definitely don't remember it, but I don't remember what I had for breakfast either. Chris Ramsey mentioned it always. Okay, he did do that video, that breakdown report as well. Oh, okay. You probably noticed there that I'm starting to get the yawns a little bit, but we're nearly there. We're nearly there. We're gonna make it. But it is late here. It is late. We are doing the late shift, but it has to be done sometimes. Just bear with me, people. Send me your energy. Blair says, I would love to see Josh and the freaks react to the video that I shared from the archive to get everyone's perspective. Now would be the perfect time. You shared that in the Discord, I'm assuming? I've actually got some interesting videos coming up for us to watch in the coming week or so. So the Armin Hillman interview is going to come out on Thursday morning Australia time, which will be Wednesday night America time. Then I'm away for a couple of days. I'm going to Komodo Dragon Island. Yep. I'm going to the only island in the world that is just home to a shitload of Komodo dragons and pink beaches. So that's going to be over the weekend. And then when we're back, we'll be back for Sunday. I'm not sure what we'll do Sunday. We might do like a clips show or something. But going into next week, kind of taking off from the Alex Collier stuff, we're going to look at, I think first we're going to look at a Dan Burrish interview, which may also have to be split over 2 days. And then we're going to look at a Billy Meyer interview. So that's sort of like where we're heading next. And I think those two things both kind of flow off nicely off the things that Alex Collier talked about. And I've been hanging to get back to Dan Burrish as well. And this interview looks really, really good, talking about the manipulation of timelines and the effects that it is having in the modern day. Don't become lunch then. I'll try my best. You never know, though. The reptilians, they might have it out for me. They might send their minions onto me. Are barley currents as deadly as they say? I mean, I haven't been out and surfed much, but when I have, it's not been like, I can't say I didn't notice anything, but my experience is quite limited. Reshared in the media just now. Okay, thank you, Blair. Can we get another interview with Gray? Probably not for a while. Not because nothing wrong with Gray, but just I have other guests that I want to sort of get through before I go back to someone that's already been on the show. Don't get cut, Josh. The Komodos can smell it miles away and will hunt you down. Oh, okay. Now you're scaring me, Jen. Got to look into George Van Tassel. I've been waiting to see you guys react to all the Billy Meyer stuff. Yeah. It's an interesting one. Whenever he gets brought up, like he's one of those people that whenever you say Billy Meyer, people are like, that's been debunked. He's been debunked. Like he's one of the people that people massively go off like that. And maybe, I don't know, I haven't looked into it. But I think like I'm at a point now when I hear people say it's been debunked, I just kind of like don't believe them. Well, not that I don't believe them, but it's just like most of the time what people consider a debunk is actually just the equivalent of like a Facebook post that confirms their what they think, right? Like if someone says, hey, I had an experience with an alien, this was my encounter, and then someone just literally posts on the internet and goes, oh no, he's actually a fraud, he's not actually what he says he is. That's it. People will read that and be like, oh, it's debunked because this person said what makes me feel comfortable. But it's like, no, bro, someone just wrote something on the internet. That's actually what happened there. And you just chose to believe that because it keeps your mold of reality safe. So like when people say things have been debunked, it's like, has it actually though? Or did someone just say what you want to believe and it makes you sleep better at night? So I'm interested to just go into this Billy Meyer stuff with an open mind, really. Draco, celebrating 2 months, says since they announced it, now the CIA are on a plane going to dig up his body before they get the exhumation order is issued. Prison Mike says, have a coffee on me. Thanks for staying with us. Thank you, buddy. I'll get on that. I'll get through my bowl of lollies. Actually, no, I don't want to eat anymore. I feel sick. Alex says, for the heck of it, from Norway, thanks for doing your thing. Alex, thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate you. And Angry Drunk Engerman. No. Oh my God. Get this man to a hospital and put him to bed. It's the angry drunk German. Wow. Oh, okay. He says, would love to see you interview Tim Alberino. Tim Alberino. Now, I've actually, again, another stream that I've had. We should probably do this stream soon. I've been meaning to cover the face peelers. I've been saying this for a long, long time. I just haven't put it together. A big chunk of it is Tim Alberino on Sean Ryan. Interesting guy, interesting stuff with the face peelers. But I've just noticed him recently on X starting to post like very just like running his mouth, to put it simply, just like running his mouth about like ufology and making very like blanket statement opinions with that are seemingly like uninformed, which is okay to be uninformed, right? Like there's nothing wrong with being uninformed about something, but like when you're uninformed but speak with like an authority, or like you're sort of like mocking people who don't agree with you, but like people who have actually been in the topic for a while can see what you're saying is like just blatantly uninformed. Stuff like that is a bit like, you know, maybe just stick to face peelers or something. I don't know. I don't know enough about the guy, but I've seen him on a couple of podcasts and stuff. He's pretty interesting to listen to. I will say that. It's a weird vibe, yeah. Okay, so other people are kind of picking up what I'm seeing there as well. That's always good. Good to know it's not just me. Again, I love it when you guys validate me. Validate me, people. Tell me I'm going to be okay. Tell me everything's going to be okay. Captain Hot Pants celebrating 4 months. Fantastic name, by the way. Was worried it had come across to some like a documentary promotion, but seeing them speak hits different. Shout out to all the weirdos from Hosha. Sorry, what was I saying? Oh no, I'm too tired. I've lost it. I can usually pull it back. I'm losing it. Captain Hot Pants. What did he say? That's it. The documentary promotion. I did see people in the chat saying like, oh, he's just promoting his documentary. Well, first of all, the documentary is already out. Okay. The documentary promotion generally happens before the documentary comes out. But also this would be like the wildest, most insane and elaborate promotion for a documentary that by his own admission, he usually makes it free for like after like 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So I don't know. I don't think that's the case at all. Michael Pumo says, these creatures were around for days, meaning they breathe our air, right? They must be terrestrial creatures from Earth like ourselves. The US must know more and are likely working with them. Thoughts? I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. I think I've always said whatever it is probably from here. I think it probably lives under the earth, perhaps like ants, like the ant people that many cultures have spoken about, specifically ones from Brazil. Okay, this isn't a new thing. It's just our government doesn't tell us about it because they hate us. That's a blanket statement, by the way. They don't all hate us, but kind of seems like it. Alexander, you little freak, thank you for becoming a member. Appreciate you. Yeah, I agree. I do think that they're from here, and I do think that people know more, and I do think that it does seem like there is some kind of agreement. Like there has to be, right? There has to be, because if all these people are coming out and saying, hey, there looks like there are these beings that kind of look like greys, or they look like little children with giant eyes, and they're telepathic, and they seem to have technology that we have no idea what it is. It's far more advanced than what we have. if your government or leaders hear that and go, oh, and just leave and like don't care, evidently, that either means like only two things. The first one is they're just like retarded and are not interested in kind of like understanding the universe and like getting a firmer grip on the world that we live in, or they already know all of it and they're pretending like they're blind. Okay, they're pretending like they're blind and deaf, and they're like, wait, what? Someone said something about aliens? Hang on, wait, oh, what? That's crazy. Huh? What did you say? Meanwhile, they've been working with them for 60 years. And when you, like we said the other day, look at the technology curve. It basically didn't move since the beginning of time until it kind of moved a little bit, and then it got to like the 1940s and it just hockey sticked around the same time where people started saying they were getting abducted or having encounters, right? Where all of those things also hockey sticked. So this is just data, right? This is just data. I'm not going to imprint what it means. I think you should all just, Ross is holding up some kind of bedroom toy, it looks like. No, I'm kidding. Ross wouldn't do that. I'm not going to imprint what it means, but yeah, like that just is the data, right? Technology curve didn't move until the 40s, then it hockey sticked. So did like abduction encounters. What does that mean? What does it mean? I don't know, but it's worth thinking about. I think it's worth thinking about. Get this man to a hospital? Yeah. And get this man to bed. My brain's starting to go a little bit fuzzy. You're starting to get delirious, Josh. The gasp is the gasp is his safe word. That's crazy. I like it. Let's see what he's saying.
I suspect there is a facility I'm aware of on the East Coast near Washington, D.C., where a lot of these biologics are taken. And frankly, the United States is sitting on the evidence and denying publicly any knowledge of extraterrestrial engagement with this planet. It's going to be very funny after this press conference to see how the government responds in light of the fact that we do have first-hand evidence from witnesses. We're talking here about witnesses who are saying they have had not only visual contact with a being, but also with their craft, but also telepathically communicating with that being.
As much as I agree with Ross and like how good these are, it's not evidence though. Like, and I'm only saying that because that's what he said. He said like, oh, we've got evidence now. They're going to have to do something. It's like, well, it's not really evidence. It's compelling testimony for sure. And I think anyone with like a shred of like intuition can feel that these people are telling at least their own truth, whatever that means. But it's nothing physical that we can hold. It's not tangible. And I think like a lot of us don't need that, right? But if you want to make some kind of like public announcement that's going to make the Love Island watchers and the football screamers and the GMO indulgers and the fluoride drinkers to take notice, you need something tangible that you can smack on their rock brain to be like, hey, this is a thing, by the way. Sorry, I'm definitely getting tired. What do we got?
Do know something, please come forward. You can contact me through Reality Check or...
Ross is just doing a shout out. The sports ball enjoyers. Yeah, I mean, I'm a sports ball enjoyer. There's no hate to sports ball. It's just like the tribalism and the like, oh, this 90-minute event of watching men in tight clothes chase a ball of wind around is the pinnacle of my existence And this is why I was born here, to watch this every 7 days, let it dictate my emotional state for 3 of those days, and hate anyone who doesn't agree with my group of men who chase the ball of wind. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the retarded part about sport. It's great, and I admire the athleticism, and I love the competitiveness of it. But also, let's not be retarded about it. You know what I mean?
Story in human history. Andy?
This next one is more of a comment, but it dovetails out of what you were saying about who might have the remnants of this case. And the comment is from James Cooper Mason. The American companies controlling the development of these craft, allegedly that these craft are made out of, has made Senate members, Congress members rich from whatever they're smuggling. Can you just speak a little bit to the American, aerospace?
It is the pinnacle of the people that play those sports war games, to be fair. Yeah, of course. Of course it is. The people that play it, for sure, they have to dedicate their lives to be that fit and athletic. But like, it's kind of sad, but like when you're not that guy, but that guy is like the pinnacle of your life. It's like, bro, like you could have done something like that, but instead you just followed the other guy that did it. You know what I mean? That's what I just think is kind of weird. You can chase the wind, but never hold it in your hands. Oh, okay. I like it. I like where you're going with that. It looks like they're coming back to the podium now. Hold up.
Okay. Our next Brazilian witness. Are we all here? Yes, good, mostly.
Yeah, present.
Our next Brazilian witness brings an essential perspective to one of the most difficult and still unresolved aspects of the Varginha case. The sudden and tragic, oh no, wrong person.
Yep, no problem.
I told you 3 a.m. There's not enough coffee.
We love you, Karen.
Thank you.
Karen. Karen.
All right.
Is this like Coral, but Corin? Just the female Coral?
Neurology and neurosurgery with nearly 5 decades of experience in both clinical care and specialized neurological procedures. He is currently the leading neurosurgeon at Regional Hospital. He maintains a private practice and is also involved in healthcare management through his medical services company. For the first time in a public setting, we are honored to hear directly from Dr. Italo, who will describe his face-to-face interaction with a captured living being of advanced non-human intelligence.
Okay.
An apparent survivor of the Varginha crash. His experience represents one of the most significant developments in the history of UAP investigations. Dr. Italo.
Get him, Doc.
Eu guardei grande segredo por 29 anos, dividindo este assunto com alguns colegas médicos, apesar de outros terem conhecimento do caso.
I held on to a very big secret for 29 years, sharing it only with a few medical colleagues, even though many others knew what I knew.
Em 2023, revelei ao time do James Fox que tinha visto vídeo onde havia uma criatura que não era humana.
In 2023, I revealed to James Fox and his team that I had seen a video of a non-human creature in the hospital on January 20th, 1996.
We need that
Depois
video.
de ter sofrido ataque cardíaco quase fatal em 2024, criei coragem para dividir mais detalhes da minha experiência, apesar das preocupações com o possível impacto na minha carreira.
After suffering a near-fatal heart attack in 2024, I felt compelled to share more details of my experience, despite previous concern about consequences for my career.
Someone says, I'm not tired and haven't slept for days. Yes, meth. There you go, chat. That person you might be arguing with in the chat could be up for 4 days on meth. I think that's a great lesson for everyone to remember.
Me chamou numa sala de urgência para ver paciente.
That afternoon in 1996, I was working at Varginha Regional Hospital when my colleague and fellow neurosurgeon Marcos Vinícius Neve urgently called me into an improvised intensive care room. He was carrying a large video camera.
Ao entrar na sala, me mostrou uma câmera em preto e branco que parecia uma criança deitada numa cama com uma hidrocefalia extrema.
Upon entering, he showed me a black and white video on the camera screen that appeared to be a child lying in bed with an extreme case of hydrocephalus.
Perguntei, o que é isto? Ele apontou para uma cama onde estava deitado um ser. Eu me aproximei e, ao vê-lo, imediatamente percebi que não era humano.
I asked, "What is this?" He pointed past the makeshift partition where a being was lying. I got closer. The moment I looked at the being, I immediately knew it was not human.
Olhei para ele primeiramente com a perspectiva médica. Estava respirando bem, sem dificuldade. Parecia não estar com dor, consciente, não estava sangrando. Parecia bem, com um semblante muito calmo e tranquilo.
I first examined it with a medical perspective, breathing well, no apparent pain, conscious, no bleeding. It seemed fine, with a calm and serene expression.
Parecia uma criança de uns 7 anos. Um lençol coberto, até aqui, no corpo, né, até a cintura. Os olhos eram lilás, bem como o crânio.
It looked like a 7-year-old child with a sheet covering up to its waist. Its eyes were lilac and teardrop-shaped. The cranium was also teardrop-shaped.
A pele era branca, os braços bem finos, 3 dedos com o polegar opositor, não havia mamilo e uma boca pequena.
The skin was white, the arms were very thin, and the hand had 3 fingers and an opposing thumb. It had no nipples and a tiny mouth.
Ele olhou para mim, olhou para o céu de uma janela, olhou para mim novamente.
He looked at me, then looked at the blue sky through the window as if longing to be there, then looked back at me.
E a impressão que eu tive nessa segunda troca de olhar foi que ele tinha completa consciência do que estava acontecendo ao seu redor e da nossa intenção de ajudá-lo.
After that, I sensed it was fully aware of what was happening around it and our intention to help.
Senti que ele estava agradecido pelos cuidados, que queria ir embora.
I felt it was grateful for the care and wanted to leave.
A sua serenidade e a presença imponente me levaram a acreditar que eu estava na presença de um nível de inteligência muito elevado.
Its serenity and powerful presence led me to believe it had a very high level of intelligence and perception, higher than human beings.
Yes. Parecia um anjo, com a compreensão e compaixão em seu olhar, ciente de que estávamos fazendo o melhor que podíamos por ele, apesar das nossas limitações.
It seemed like an angel with understanding and compassion in its gaze, aware that, despite our limitations, we were doing the best we could for it.
Estou aqui perante vossa presença, com nada a ganhar, tudo a perder. Não estou vendendo nada e não estou pedindo dinheiro.
I stand before you with nothing to gain and everything to lose. I am not selling anything or asking for money.
Ainda trabalho como neurocirurgião. Estou aqui porque, principalmente para as novas gerações, eles merecem saber que há muito mais além do que a nossa existência humana. E eu sou uma testemunha. Thanks.
I still work as a neurosurgeon, and I am here because everyone, especially the younger generations, deserve to know there is much more beyond human existence, and I am eyewitness to the proof. Thank you.
Super, super impactful. I think him and the other guy that he was sitting next to, if their testimonies don't reach like, you know, some level of like mainstream news, then it's over, bro. Honestly. Like, come on. This has got to at least make some kind of waves. Please.
We, Marco Leal, myself, and our team, Alini, we have somebody, I won't give too many details, but it's a mole in one of the hospitals several years ago.
He's got a mole.
We meet, no phones, extremely paranoid. And this is the person you need to go talk to. If I were you, I'd go, you know, it's like, this person saw the video. How do you know? Because I'm friends with the doctor who, you know.
Don't tell me James has got the video.
So we went after Italo. He did not come after us. And we were trying to find the video because obviously that's the holy grail. Anybody out there thinks that I'm not giving it everything I've got. If I sat there and told you all the efforts to get a hold of the photographic evidence, we'd be here till tomorrow. We found Italo, and I jokingly describe him as trying to grab a bar of soap in the bathtub. You know, it was like he would kind of respond. He seemed like he was conflicted, and then he would not get back to us. And then finally he agreed to meet with Marco Leal and do a Zoom call. I think it was like 2023. And I was just fixated on the video. So I was asking him over the video with interpreter Marco Leal, you know, did you see the video? Did you see the video? And now I've adopted the nickname, Oh My God, because when I found out when he confessed to having seen the video, I was like, oh my God, where is it? Who shot it? Where, you know? So we were like, all right, we're going back to Brazil. We're going to meet with the two forensic pathologists because that was a huge development. And now we had a potential lead to get our hands in the video. But we kept trying to get a hold of him over the next year. And then he had a heart attack after he admitted the video, but he wasn't willing to go anything further at that point. That was the video was as far as he was willing to go. He had a heart attack. He said he was staring at the ICU, the ceiling, and thinking, I can't take this to the grave. If I get through this, I'm going to meet with James's team and I'm going to reveal all.
He's not going to do it, is he?
So in 2025, in January, we went back to Brazil. We were meeting with Dr. Armando and Dr. Giannini, and we were talking about the autopsy and the tissue samples. And oh, and by the way, Dr. Armando, could you get a hold of, you know, of course, he's one of the most well-connected people within the medical community. Could you get a hold of Dr. Italo? Oh, yeah. Whips out his phone. Dr. Italo. They speak, and he says, meet him around the backside of the hospital tomorrow morning. The backside? So our team, we're not going to ask any questions. We're on the backside. He sneaks us in the back of the hospital, down through the various series of corridors, and then right into the ICU. And that's when he decided to drop the bomb. And he did. And it got us all off guard. So I just want to say, Dr. Italo, it takes tremendous courage for someone who's got so much to lose and nothing to gain. He's not making a dime. He's not selling a book. He's not trying to sell a documentary. He's still working on people's brains.
Yeah, but what were you saying about the video, James?
I know that courage is infectious, and it's strength in numbers. Today marks the 30th anniversary of this incident. We're going back to Brazil in a couple of days, meeting with the mayor. We're going to be giving presentations. So if anyone out there is listening to this, it's involved certainly on the American side, particularly on the Brazilian side. If you're ever thinking about coming forward, now's the time. We have a couple of closing statements that are very significant. I was contacted anonymously by a gentleman who happens to be sitting right over here, right after I did a big Joe Rogan appearance on this case when the first version of Moment of Contact was released. This guy was really smart. I get contacted by people all the time. But he was like, yeah, this is where you look, and the flight logs and this, because, you know, there was people coming forward on the Brazilian side saying, yeah, I saw the USAT flight come in. So finally, after like 3 months, anonymous correspondence, I said, excuse me, who are you? And he's like, oh, I'm actually a retired United States Air Force colonel, and I'm also a fighter pilot. And I had a pretty dramatic UFO encounter back in 1980, which coincidentally was covered up. And okay, that explains it. So he eventually came forward to share publicly his UFO encounter. But today he's here to talk about something I feel is extremely significant, and that is this potential flight that came in from the United States of America in January of 1996. So without further ado, Colonel Clausen, thank you so much for being here today. Here we go.
Oh, this guy's coming forward.
My name is Fred Clausen. I'm a retired U.S. Air Force bird colonel and fighter pilot. I have more than 4,000 hours of flying time in the F-15, the F-4, and I flew combat missions in the F-105 during the Vietnam conflict. I was awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross twice and held a top secret SCI clearance. While flying the F-15, I intercepted a UFO. I took gun camera film, which was immediately confiscated. But that's another story for another time. Today, I am speaking on another matter, a matter that requires world attention. According to several Brazilian authorities, including air traffic controller Marcos Freires, on or about the 20th of January, 1996, a U.S. Air Force cargo plane, most likely a C-17, took off from a base in the U.S. and it flew secretly into Brazilian airspace without flight clearance from Brazilian government, and it landed at Viracopos Airport in Campinas. While at Campinas, witnesses talked of it loading an unusual cargo, then departing to an unknown location in the United States. If true, I am certain that 30 to 40 Americans had direct knowledge of this flight and its purpose. I will now walk you through a potential paper trail this mission could have left behind. In order to secure a cargo plane, a specific protocol must be adhered to. The tasking would be sent to Air Mobility Command at Scott Air Force Base, Illinois, who has command authority over all U.S. Air Force cargo aircraft and refueling tankers. The paper trail has begun. Air Mobility Command, Carolina. Another paper trail. At Charleston, a crew is selected for the mission and a C-17 cargo aircraft is made ready.
Sorry,
the
we're back.
distance from